They have to bring their own, and there will be a full service medication bar or pharmacy as we call it. Uh, and we're going to hold it at the fire station so that EMTs will be on site. So just wanted people to know that I'm going to be doing that. I don't know when, but that's definitely something I'm thinking about doing so I won't feel so old.
I definitely don't think that you should feel old, because I am usually the oldest one also. And
Yeah, but you're being the oldest and me being the oldest, there's a difference of like 16 years.
the private chat's not working for some reason. It didn't pop up, so I just put it there in the regular chat.
Okay, well, I can't copy it
It's
from
just
there,
it's just
but
patreon.com/the Slaptail Squad, everybody. When you go to
okay,
patreon.com, if you just type in the Slaptail Squad, it'll pop up. There is no other Slaptail Squad. I made sure.
okay,
I made sure before I ever became the Slaptail Squad. Thank you.
okay. All right. Heavy Kev says, I have a serious question for Beeve. Is Darth Vader on a disability benefit?
No, but his dick does look like a burnt hot dog. So if you like your hot dogs burned just a little bit and split and bendy, every time you eat one, think of Darth Vader.
Now, I don't even see, because he's part of the Empire. I don't even think that the Empire has health benefits, although they did fix him up. I mean, you know, I mean, there was the Empire that fixed him up. It wasn't the rebellion that fixed him up.
Correct. But the thing is Darth Vader holds no rank in the Empire.
Oh, I thought he was like a Dark Lord or Sith Lord or something. No, he's not a
Right,
Sith
but
Lord.
he's not he doesn't have a rank. You know how like there's generals, admirals,
Right,
captains,
right,
majors, all that other stuff. He doesn't have a rank because he's not in the military.
right.
He's like his own thing as the second in command. Basically, he reigns by fear as the Sith Lord.
So
So
he's a contractor.
yeah, kind of. So like how if you remember in one of the movies, General Tarkin is telling Darth Vader to chill the fuck out, and Darth Vader
Right,
listens to him.
right. Okay. Now,
I
also,
think it's Grand Moff Tark. He's a Moff by that. He's Grand Moff Tark. He's like chill there, or no, he was an admiral, but whatever. Most of the time, though, he's like one of the only ones. Other times, Vader's like, "Fuck you, do what I want."
okay, and the one they call Master wasn't in the military either. So I guess their form of government is very much like ours, where you have to be a civilian to be in charge of the military.
Yeah, right. Yeah, fuckers.
And also,
Idiots.
it occurred to me that Darth Vader, once he got his free healthcare, it wasn't free because he was in servitude to the Empire for like the
True.
rest of his life.
True.
So
I talk about
they
Darth Vader all day.
they are a bad example of VA benefits. Well,
Truly.
he wasn't a vet, but government healthcare. That's a bad example because they gave him healthcare, and now he is in debt to them for the rest of his life.
Well, for sure. But if the when the Empire fell and it became the New Republic, if the Republic is part of the old Republic, if you will, then still that same military, because even though he was part of the Jedi Order at the time, the Jedi Order had rank. So technically he was in the Clone Wars as a veteran, so he'd be covered now
Right.
if
Okay.
he was
Yeah.
alive, but he's dead.
Yeah,
So,
that's true. He died. Yeah.
you know, and
So
you know
he
why he
would
died.
miss out.
You know, one
But
of the
he could
theories
be.
of oh, sorry,
But
go ahead.
also, but his kids would be covered, like that Navy insurance thing, where you can
No,
pass it
because
down to your
yeah,
kids.
that part, sure. But like they can't get like all the benefits he has other than stuff like that. Because like they can't get, it's not a gold star family because when Darth died, it
Uh,
wasn't the new empire. It wasn't the new republic, it was the empire. So he
okay.
died. So he didn't die in service to the new republic.
Okay. See, now we have answered your Star Wars military questions.
Anyway, also, it's all just, all it's the Star Wars universe is so complex that it's really hard. So if you've only ever seen the movies,
Right.
Sometimes it's not hard. You can watch all the movies and have no problem whatsoever, but it's really hard to have a conversation with someone who's really deeply into Star Wars if you've only seen the movies,
Right. And
because
that's
they'll
all
tell
I've
you,
done.
yeah, and they'll tell you shit, and you're like, "What the ever loving fuck are you talking about?"
Right.
But if you read some of the first few books after that are considered part of canon,
Yeah.
it's great. I mean, it's really eye-opening. You're like, "Oh my god, this is fucking cool. It's what everybody's talking about." But you certainly don't have to do that. I tell people, I'm like, "Just watch the movies if you love Star Wars."
No, it's funny. When I grew up, I knew what the word canon meant. I mean, both canons, the three ends and two
Yeah,
ends,
yeah,
both.
true canons.
Yeah. But I have not started using canon in a sentence on a regular basis until the advent of Marvel becoming so big. And
Mm.
then people started saying, well, this is canon, this isn't canon. Once there was like five different versions of stuff. Like there's what, three different renditions of the Fantastic Four, at least. Because
Yeah.
there was the old stuff, like the really bad stuff, when Ben Grimm was done with the guy in like a foam rubber suit and uh
Yeah,
practical suit.
if you ever wanna have a good Marvel conversation, I don't know why anybody would, but if but if you ever wanna have a good Marvel conversation, I have 2 recommendations for you of 2 people I know that will talk your ear off about Marvel. Um, if you want a good Marvel conversation about the comics and the movies and how they've shot things and how they can tell you how things are, like, really interesting with the movies, I
Right.
highly recommend my son. Dude knows everything about that shit. It's
Is
really
this the son? This is the same son who's a very good comedian but won't comic?
that is correct. He's very good on the stage. He writes solid jokes, and yeah, he's only done it like 5 times, but he's 100 times better than I am.
So, but if he sticks to this pattern, then he may be very knowledgeable and good about with the Marvel stuff, but he's not going to talk to you because.
You know, he's like, "Yeah, we don't use it." No, every time I see him, he tells me about movies. He loves movies. He
But
loves
that's
writing.
different with you. I'm talking about the
Yeah,
average person. Like he's not going on stage. He's funny with you, so you know he's funny, but he's not going on stage, so the rest of the world does not.
correct. That is true. That is true.
Okay,
So,
so who's
yes.
the other person, and are they accessible to us?
Yeah,
Because
my other
your
the
son
other
is not.
yeah,
Your son
the
is
other
not.
person, his name is Andy. He does a lot of guest stuff on podcasts. He loves Star Wars also. He does his friend occasionally does like a Star Wars podcast. But he's very good to ask any of those questions. I love it. I just love it myself, so I don't dive deep. I tell people, I'm like, my brain is way occupied with other things that are not, and I don't want to say trivial. It's a hobby,
Mm-hmm.
but my brain is occupied with so many other things that I'm not going to ever fixate on something like getting into the minutia of Marvel canon, especially because it's Marvel. Marvel's not my favorite anyway. So I'm
Right.
like, well,
Well,
but yeah,
well, I admit Marvel. Well, I like the DC stuff when it's done well, and I think it's funny because I think the live action stuff, for the most part, up until the Superman one, I was preferring the Marvel stuff. But
sure.
I think the recent Batman, well, the one with Christian Bale.
Mhm.
I'm still not crazy about the Pattinson one.
I love that
Um,
one.
I like Christian Bale as my Batman. Okay, because I can see the Batman. Everybody who knows anything about Batman knows the man, as smart as he is damaged, really
Yeah,
damaged goods. Christian Bale sold damage to me, and
yeah.
it's not just because he was an American Psycho.
Great movie though.
Yeah,
Have you ever read the book?
no, no.
Oh, the book is just phenomenally demented. One of the best. But I read it. This is what's terrible. I read that book in high school. I
Mm-hmm.
think I was probably 16 or 17 when I read that book. Insane that I would even be able to get that book and read it. Oh, back when libraries actually carried shit. Anyway. But no, I think that with Batman, and this is just my opinion, I used to really love Batman. He was my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't like Batman very much at all, and I blame Trump. I blame Trump, because now I'm just like, Batman is just a billionaire who beats up homeless people. So my I've really shifted on who my favorite is, And my favorite probably now, and I don't read comics hardly at all anymore. I mean, I still love Batman, but it's just the idea of it really bothers
Right,
me. And I can understand because it was written so long ago that, they didn't know where the world was going.
right.
But the idea of it is, yeah, he's just a bully who beats up homeless people and people with mental deficiencies. So now my favorite is probably the Red Hood. So Jason Todd,
Oh,
after
okay.
because he just kills motherfuckers. I don't like the fact that they're softening him when he's ever under Batman's, you know, organization where Batman's like, no killing. He's like, fuck, dude, you paralyze people. You make life worse. So yeah. But live action versus the comics,
And also the
DC,
animated series, because they also
yeah,
have the animated movies.
yeah,
Yeah.
DC does a better job on animation all day
Yes.
long. Their
Yes.
animated movies are freaking the best, except for that one where Batman's like a ninja. That one's terrible. And then where they're in
Oh,
the Old
it
West, that one's
is. Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah.
That Old West one, I watched like 20 minutes. I was like, oh my God, this is fucking terrible. But all the other shit, fucking solid as fuck. Sorry, I'm swearing way too much.
No,
Um,
you're not. You're not. Matter of fact, you have even hit our quota.
oh, okay. Well, good. But yeah, I think the live action stuff up until this latest Superman, I could not understand why people were pissed. If you loved Christopher Reeves,
Right.
this latest Superman, that kid did him justice. I give a
Yes.
fuck. I don't even like Superman except for Christopher Reeves because he's such a Boy Scout. I love Christopher Reeves, and the way that my heart felt watching Superman the first time as a little child was the way I felt when I watched this latest kid. I'm like, God damn it, this kid did a good job. He honored Christopher
Yes.
Reeves, and I like this Superman.
And
So
that's now my favorite one is still Henry Cavill, but or
I
Cavill.
like Henry
Cavill.
Cavill's.
Yeah,
I
I
like
like his because his has like a little edge, a little dark edge to it. And I'm one to think that if you have that much power, you're going to get a little corrupted.
fuck
Just got.
yeah. I mean, they're
Yeah,
like, you
I
guys
mean,
are doing shit wrong. I'm in
look,
charge.
I know me. I know me. I try desperately hard to be as open-minded and loving and caring as I possibly can. But if I had unlimited strength like a Superman or like the guy from the boys, what was it?
Oh yeah,
Homelander.
Homelander.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know I would still be like just and I still like want like equality, but now it'd be like, no, god damn it, I said equality. You're done.
Yeah, I mean, how could you not? That's the thing that's why you have a sense of what's right and wrong. And if someone violates that sense, then you have the power to stop it. You're just going to stop it.
Yeah,
But the determination of what's right and wrong is based on what your thought process is. It's just
yeah.
like the same thing where people, we're in the United States, we're like, oh, we're the best. We take care of everybody. But no, we don't. Shit.
Right, and I would put a stop to that. And there would be no billionaires. Definitely,
Oh
well,
no.
I was going to say there'd be no trillionaires, but we don't have a trillionaire anymore.
Well, there'd be
He's
no
lost.
reason for money either. Be like, hey, we're gonna work for the greater good, everybody.
Yeah,
That sort
well,
of thing.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I would like reward like real, people being like really like industrious and stuff like that. Yeah, but there wouldn't people would not be want for
No.
start. People wouldn't be thirsty, hungry, stuff like that. No, it wouldn't be. You
Yeah.
know,
Terrible.
and don't even think about harming a puppy. I will kick your ass.
Take it down. Take it right down.
Yeah,
But
take you
back to
down.
that whole Batman and the Superman thing. What I do is I look at the different people that have played like Batman,
Right.
and I actually rank them by universe as opposed to comparing them to each other.
Ah, okay.
So my overall favorite Batman is Michael Keaton. I
He was,
love
yes, he
I
was, yeah,
love Michael Keaton as
yeah.
Batman.
I hated I think I didn't mean to cut you off there, but I think the only bad thing about the Michael Keaton Batman was the technology they had for his suit in our world
Yeah.
because he could not do anything.
Oh,
He couldn't move
couldn't
at
turn.
all.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I think if you gave him Christian Bale's suit, um, I think yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah. I think, so I kind of rank them by universe because I look at them, I'm like, God, I love all of them except for, sorry, Ben Affleck. I did not like your Batman because it was just a ripoff of Tony Stark. You were just literally playing Tony Stark. Oh,
Yeah.
the original Boba Fett? That's fucking awesome. No, wait, I thought he died.
I don't know the answer to that.
The original Boba Fett died. You talk about the new Boba Fett who plays the clone in the new Boba Fett movies?
I don't know, but he says he lives locally, and
Yeah, because the original's dead.
okay, and then he says, "I won't let my kids read that book. Highly disturbing, amazing book about RF about DEF R30."
Definitely R30.
Oh,
Homelander lives nearby as well. Homelander, what a nice guy. Oh my God, the guy who plays Homelander,
mm-hmm.
super nice guy, but he always plays just crazy ass characters. Have you ever seen Banshee?
The
Banshee's a
series, the
series.
series Banshee. Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
the series. Who did he play in that?
He was the lead character.
He was the
That's
lead
him.
character.
That's Homelander.
I have to go back and yeah, I like that series. That was so dark and so crazy.
So good. Yeah,
And
so
he
good.
was a real kick-ass, yeah.
Yeah. like,
Okay, Banshee, that was the one about the little town and the guy
yep.
goes and steals it.
That's
He
him.
steals the
That's
identity
Homelander.
of the dead sheriff.
Exactly. Yep. He
Okay.
walks right in, dude gets killed in the bar, and before he ever becomes sheriff, and he takes over as the sheriff. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Banshee. Yeah, that's the same guy as Homelander. That's Homelander.
I'm gonna watch it again. I'm going to watch it again.
Yeah, Banshee's a good flick. Yeah,
Yeah. The
that's really
series.
good series.
Yeah.
Yeah, good series. So back to the Batman thing. Christian Bale, I like his Batman as the Dark Batman.
Right.
And then Robert Pattinson, I like that movie because that reminds me of the first few years of Batman.
Okay.
Robert Pattinson, if they stick to what he's doing, he is the world's greatest detective. You never get that with any of the other ones.
Right.
So with Robert Pattinson, you're like, okay, finally we get the world's greatest. We get a thinker, and you can see the mistakes he's making in that first movie.
Right. Yeah.
And like if they keeps with that, I just think of him as being in that totally different universe for sure. It's the same thing with Adam West. I'm like, I love Adam West as Batman in his universe. He's the campy Batman.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
I don't know these names, but
yeah, you
I'm
gotta tell
pretty
us what
sure
they play. We're not good at we don't know what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carl Urban. Isn't that Keith
Tamara
Urban, his
Morrison.
brother? Because Keith Urban is from New Zealand.
Does he know Keith Urban?
I don't know, but Keith
No, I
Urban's
mean,
from
does
New
Carl
Zealand.
know Keith? Does Carl know Keith?
Yeah, do they even know each other?
They know each other.
And how do you get a last name like Urban living in New Zealand? Is there?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Should it be Keith Rural?
Yeah.
Maybe
Keith
Rural.
Outback.
Yeah. But wait, it's Superman. So who's your favorite Superman? Is it Henry Cavill?
It's Henry Cavill, but I really like the new guy. I don't know these names. Forgive me for not knowing names because I barely know the names of people that live in my block, let alone people that I only see once a year on a television show.
See, on those movies in that whole series with the DC live action, Wonder Woman's my favorite anyway. I don't give a shit. She's
Gal
the best.
Gadot.
She's the best. She's the badass. Yeah. That for me is the only reason I watch. The reason I watch Gal Gadot. I love Gal Gadot. Plus, Gal Gadot was like in the military.
Yeah, she was. She was like in the Israeli army.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was in the Israeli army. So
I don't know what she did, but I'm going to say she was a sniper. There you go. Gal Gadot, sniper. But no, I like the new Superman. I'm looking forward to the new Supergirl.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. As a matter of fact, I was about to read a review on YouTube. Watch a review on YouTube by. There's a guy who does a thing called Emergency Awesome. That's his channel. I think his name is Charlie. I like him. I mean, they're like over dozens and dozens of people like review those things, but I like Charlie the best. Because he doesn't do the AI thing that I get annoyed with.
Yeah, I got my opinion on AI, but the girl who's playing Supergirl, she played what's it called? Rhaenyra in the first House of the Dragon.
Okay.
And she's a really good actress, so I'm super excited to see her as Supergirl. And I like Supergirl anyway. I like Supergirl. But the premise of this one is, I mean, well, at least part of it is she's not like Superman because Superman trusts everybody and likes everybody, and Supergirl's she's more, I would say, probably cynical. But she's in an alternate universe from Superman. So they're introducing that alternate universe, so you can see where they're going. Like,
Well,
oh, look
they're
at
in the
that.
same quote. They're in the same universe in the sense that they know each other, but she's off to a different universe, as in galaxy wise.
Oh, so she's in a different galaxy, just not in this, but in the same
Right,
universe.
right, right.
So it's not a
They
different.
do know each other. That's why she can say to him that I'm not like him,
Yeah.
because she knows who he is, and he's trying to give her sense of morals. And she goes, no, he trusts like you said, he trusts everybody, and he trusts everybody. And she says, well, you got to earn my trust if you have any arms left. So you have any arms left, you have to prove to me you don't pick a pocket.
Plus, she got crypto.
And also, she has crypto, and she has a substance problem. I don't know if it's
Nice.
a problem as much as she just likes to get high, and she can only get high in places where she doesn't have a yellow sun.
Yeah. No, smart. That's why you feel bad for the Flash. The Flash just hangs out in his regular Earth. What are they on Earth 2? And
I think so.
he'll go drink with his friends, and he just keeps drinking and drinking and drinking, but
And
he can't
nothing
get buzzed.
happens.
Yeah, it's lame. Lame.
Yeah, he needs to try sativa.
Oh
Because
my
I
God,
think the sativa would slow down his metabolism a little bit, and then he could get drunk.
Hmm.
I don't know how much he would slow. So Heavy Kev wants to know if you were in the military.
Yes. I was.
So, yeah, he was a sniper.
I wish. It was not.
Oh, I wish.
Oh, sorry. What I meant to say was. Oh.
No, I have a friend who was a sniper, and he was, he was a sniper, and he talked about the long, long hours of sitting there with his gun pointing at something, like waiting for the go or no go, kill or no kill,
Yeah.
and like months and months, like you train and train and train and train and train. It was like what's that? There was a movie with Tom Cruise, Jack Reacher, the first one, when he's looking for with the sniper who trained and trained and trained and trained and trained and never got to shoot anybody. So he just goes off.
Yeah, it's sad the way you think about that stuff.
Me?
I think I was in the longest period of so everybody that when I first went into the army, everybody, not everybody, but a good percentage of people had been to either Desert Storm, Panama, what's the other one? Oh God, Panama, Grenada, or Vietnam. When I first
Wow.
joined.
Wait a minute. Did you still have people that served in Vietnam when you went in?
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Wouldn't it? Let me see. Vietnam was in the 70s. They'd have been in their teens. You went in
The
2000,
earliest
right?
you could have joined was 17 in Vietnam.
Right.
The last year we occupied, I think we left everybody at what, 73?
I think so.
I think everybody left in 7. If you were 17 or 18 in 73, yeah, you would still be in when I joined in 91.
Okay.
So if you haven't retired yet, you'd still be in. Like our commander was in Vietnam. Our brigade commander was in Vietnam. One of the guys in my platoon was in Vietnam. Or not my platoon, but in my platoon was in Vietnam when I was in the 82nd. Yeah, so yeah, you could still have people in Vietnam.
Okay. Now, this is a question and I don't know if you were qualified to notice it then, but you may be qualified to notice it now. So, in retrospect, when you see the veterans that you served with, was there a difference between the ones that went to, let's say, saw Nam and the ones that saw Grenada and the ones that saw Panama?
Well, I mean,
Because
it's totally different conflict.
Panama, yeah, I'm just saying there were different conflicts. Um, uh, Vietnam was if they went to Vietnam, if they not just served during Vietnam, but went to Vietnam and actually got to smell the Agent Orange and stuff like that. That's one thing. And Grenada, I think we went in, ordered some food, and left. I think I could be wrong, but I think that was just a bunch of takeout. And
It
same with
depends.
Panama.
It depends on what unit they were in.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, actually, my first sergeant was in Grenada too. So I had two people that I knew that were in Grenada. One was my platoon sergeant, Jerry Hansen, and the other was our first sergeant Frejo. First Sergeant Frejo, straight up, we know killed somebody. We all know that in Grenada when they invaded.
As part
But
of the military, just before he
well,
joined.
he wasn't in the military during Grenada. He just decided to go just so he could cap someone. He wanted to kill someone just to see them die. And no, no, he did not. No, but he jumped in as part of the Ranger Regiment. So he was one of the first people. That's why I say you have to wonder what they did, what unit were they in. And then my platoon sergeant, Jerry Hansen, Sergeant Hansen, he also jumped in with the 82nd. So it depends what their mission was when they jumped in, or if they were like support forces or whatever. But yeah, Grenada didn't last long at all. I'm think what hours, literally, probably. So they definitely did something. The sergeant that was in Vietnam, I did not ask anything. He was not my squad leader. If he was my squad leader, I definitely would have picked his ear. But otherwise, I'm like, "Ah, I'm not gonna bother him." And he was oh my god, such a nice guy, just super super nice, which is out of character as an infantryman. Most of us are just assholes. I'm a super nice guy. But yeah, the people who were in Panama, same thing. I was in an airborne unit, so most of the people I knew who were in Panama jumped in. So and
Right.
it was they parachuted in. They were part of the assault. So I knew people who were in regiment who jumped in, or Ranger Battalion who jumped in, and people who were in the 82nd who jumped in. Same thing though, Panama didn't last long. So if you compare those to Vietnam, which was an occupation, that's totally different. You know, everybody who
Right.
that I knew who went to Grenada or Panama were like fine. I'm like, man, it was only a few hours or a few days.
They arrive and go like, what?
They jumped in, they're like, "Let's kick some ass," and they're like, "There's nothing going on. What is going on here?" And then, of course, I came in after Desert Storm, so all the people that I knew who were Desert Storm, of course, being a young person and just, they'll tell you stuff and you're like, "Oh, that sounds terrible. Sounds boring." But of course, everybody for the next 6, 7 years that I was in, we did not really go to any occupying combat. It was just this is what people don't understand. When you go to war or you go to a conflict, they select what force is gonna go.
Right.
So if you're not depending on the conflict, if they're like, "This is an all-out scale, whatever, blah, blah, blah," you'll go or you'll get locked down for it. If you're not, if it doesn't require your mission, you don't go. Or if
Yeah.
there's other regions that are closer where they can deploy troops and it's easier for them to deploy those ones that are special, they'll deploy them.
Yeah.
And
Like
you
if it's
might
a
not go.
land war, if there's a land war in the desert, they don't need the Navy.
Yeah, usually. Yeah, yeah. So for 7 years, I got locked down for Bosnia, Herzegovina, I got locked down for, Somalia. I got locked down for Haiti. I got locked down for a bunch of these lockdown just means that we went on alert. We didn't go anywhere. We had all of our equipment packed and ready to go, and we
Right.
just didn't go. Uh, so so now
Now,
I'm the zebra. Everybody else has been to combat except for this section of years, and I'm one of those sections of years that never went. Probably the longest period of peacetime we had is when I was in.
and we owe you a great deal of thanks for that.
Trained my ass off, I'll tell you that. Trained all the
Now,
time, tell you that.
now I don't know if I asked you this. I usually ask this of people who I know have been in the military. Actually, I ask this anyway. But some of the people who I know who have been in the military, I ask them when I say to them, "Who's the funniest person you know who was not a comedian, who never became a comedian?" And quite often, if they've been in the military, they'll say, "Oh, it was my drill sergeant." But you weren't allowed to laugh.
Yeah.
They would get in your face and make some of the most ridiculous comments, funny as fuck, but you can't laugh. You have to remain at attention. Was that like that with you?
I wouldn't say that they were the funniest, but we did have one who would make faces at you, and he had really thick, like, Coke bottle glasses, so he would, like, roll his eyes and make his eyes look at each other and stuff while he's screaming at you, because he knew that would make you laugh, and that way he would punish you more, but yeah, he wasn't the funniest person I knew in the military by any means. He was just humorous.
Hey,
No.
I'm a humorist. Watch it there. No. Now,
No,
I'm
the
gonna.
funniest person I knew in the military was, this guy I knew named Chio, Robert Chiamento. He was the funniest guy that we probably knew. Just because he was off the wall crazy, the shit that he would do. And he had a really bad temper. He made my temper look like nothing. Uh, but he's dead now.
Now,
Died in
did you
combat.
have a bad temper? I mean, like when I was in high school, I ROTC guy said that I shouldn't go into the military because I'm going to be spending all of my time like in the brig because I'm not afraid of being punished. I'm not, I can't, I won't be broken. So but you didn't spend a lot of time in the brig. So obviously you can control your temper, right? So how did you control it if it was that bad? Did you like count to 150? Or did you just say, look, I want to break his neck, but I know if I break his neck, I'll lose my military benefits. So what kept
No,
you in check?
I think that most of us, well, it depends on the job you pick. Like if I would have picked, I'm going to work in logistics. That's what I want my military occupational specialty to be. I probably would
Mhm.
have got into a lot of trouble. But I picked infantry, which is the war fighters. I mean, your mission, your actual job description is to close with and destroy the enemy by small arms or whatever weaponry systems. So everybody was pretty much uh, full of rage and hormones and ready to fight. And that's what they want for infantrymen anyway. So I got along just fine. I didn't have that many friends because I am a very what do you call it, introverted person and have very low self-esteem when it comes to
Mhm.
like making close friends. So I wasn't
Mhm.
somebody who could easily talk to people because of my high school having been shitty. So not a good conversationalist with people, but otherwise I had a good time.
Well, okay. Now, one of the things I want to share with, well, I'm going to share this because a while ago, John, I don't know, actually, I don't know how it was received out in TV land on Roku and stuff like that. But John, I did interview John for Done Way Past Funny a while ago, and this is the promo from that show. I'm not going to show actual footage from the interview. If you want to see the interview, you have to go to Roku, um, Knob TV. Go to Knob TV on Roku and look up the Done Way Past Funny episodes, or go to Spark TV and check it out there. But this is the promo that I put together for it. I haven't watched it in a while, so I don't know remember what it's like. Previously on Done Way Past Funny, with this episode's guest, John Beaver. So, what is your most awkward crowd work exchange?
When they agree with me, like if I say, you know that dream we all have where you bury, they'll be like, yeah. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, okay, well, I'll ask someone else then.
You have any shows coming up that you want to promote?
Yeah, I'm super excited because this will probably fit that time perfectly because we have a show in June.
Okay.
So it's our third annual Pride celebration show, third annual Pride comedy show. I'm not in it, but
You're not proud of your work?
Yeah, this is the first year I'm not in it. I was in the first two.
Okay.
This one, I just wanted to focus on building the show itself, but we have some super hilarious people coming from Chicago to do the show. Our headliner is Jamie Schreiner. She's fucking hilarious. Our features Danny Lang, and our opener is Amira Sanders, and our host is my good friend Nicole Melnick, who is from now Detroit. And she is open for everybody's open for a million people. They're at the Laugh Factory. They're all these kinds of places, Lincoln Lodge, whatever. So we're super excited for that show. I'm hoping we get like mass participation from the community to come out for that one. So we're very excited about it.
Did you do a Pride show this year?
We did not. We did not.
Couldn't find any gay comedians, or
Yeah, everybody is stop being gay. So just
damn Trump administration.
Trump has ruined it for everybody. Nobody wants to come out and admit. No, just kidding.
Don't ask, don't tell has even affected comedy.
No, we're just trying not to. We're really focused on the podcast. Sorry about that. Really focused on the podcast. Really focused on. I'm more focused on writing. My plan is to only produce maybe 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 shows a year, and I want them to be like kind of bigger shows. We do get approached to produce comedy, and to kind of ward off that evil spirit. Now, I just tell them how much it's going to cost them, and I need the money. I'm not paying any money to do it. They'll pay me, and then I'll put on the show. And I was hoping that would ward people off, but I still do get people that asks, and I can still produce the show. So,
well, that's a good thing. The fact that you name these prices and they still want you to do it.
yeah, because I was really hoping like the one that we just recently did. I gave them the price. I'm like, there's no way they're going to pay that, and they did. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess we're putting on a show. The nice thing about it too is you don't have to worry about the money. Comedians are going to get paid. You're not taking a hit, and if they don't market and they don't get enough people to come, that's on them. I don't know why you would spend the money and not market, but hey,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
my problem.
I think people have a different things. Different companies have a different idea what marketing is. Now, some people, to them, marketing means they put it on their Facebook page.
Yeah, that's not
That's not marketing.
no. No, what's really crazy is you can use things like Eventbrite. You can use Eventbrite for free to
Right.
say, "Hey, my event's out here. It's for, this is the cost, and this is we'll take you to the page to pay for the tickets, or you can buy the tickets at the door." And Eventbrite doesn't charge you for that. I mean, you can use Eventbrite to market also. So, yeah, the marketing is pretty crappy for comedy out there, and that's why I don't know. That's why I just am like, fuck it. I'm going to do just my own produced shows for in 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 a year, and I'm going to do them at one specific theater, and that's pretty much it.
Um, I wanted to share something that, okay, well, this Sunday, the Reverend's doing in his segment, Looking for God in All the Wrong Places. They're looking at the lyrics from Yes's And You and I. He breaks down the lyrics and talks about the spiritual aspect. And this is some of the artwork that Heavy Kev created um, for that. Not necessarily for that show, but inspired by that show. Or by And You and I. This is all AI.
What? Really?
Yeah.
What? Really? Oh,
It looks a lot like it's a yeah, he does this with AI. You see that one?
damn. He thinks you look really old.
Well, in that one, let me see. I'm trying to think here. Where's Oh, I was looking for the next slide button right here. So that's
Okay.
Reverend
Mhm.
as the different playing the Steve Howe part. The I was gonna say Lonnie Anderson. What is Anderson's first name? From Yes, the lead singer. Anderson Cooper, whatever it is, and Rick Wakeman. There you go. I mean, some of the stuff is like, well, first of all, I can't fit into pants like that anymore.
I mean, they can make him bigger.
That's true.
I mean, they can make any size.
Yeah. Are you a Yes fan at all, John?
I don't think I could name a Yes song. Oh
Oh
no, and
wow.
you and I.
Okay, well there you go. And that's an obscure song. So if you know that title,
Oh
you
damn!
must have
Look at
read it
that.
somewhere.
Look at that. See?
Maybe you read it somewhere.
You got
Uh,
Tyrannosaurus arms in this one. You can play it close. You play it close. The size of your head. Giant head.
yeah.
Right there's a giant head right
Actually,
there.
I think that's actual size.
Is that your
So
actual? Yeah, that's your actual size on a tiny body.
well, no, I mean the body. I think that may be the scale
Oh,
because what I did was I sent him a video of me doing different things with the green screen so that he could have something because AI was capturing stuff off the internet, to make me, and that's part of the reason why it was looking like it did. And so I sent him this, just a video of me in front of a green screen, or the Reverend rather, just
all right.
doing different things. And so that's probably actual head to shoulder ratio. I love that cape.
That's a You're like the Technicolor.
Yeah. I see if Yes, his early albums. Well, when I say early albums, I mean just about like the first 10. The artwork was pretty much like what you see in the background,
Hmm.
um, with the floating land masses and stuff like that.
So you're going jujitsu judo style here on the grapple, and he's going overhand like a boxer. My money is on the judo guy. If he dips his head, this guy's going to hit the top of his skull. That's going to hurt, and then GD's going in for the throw. So the Rev is he's not going to do well on that one. All right, that one
Yeah,
looks like you. That's a pretty good AI rendition right there.
yeah. That's AI pretty much uh, snatching the image right off of one of the flyers.
You might want to be worried about that lion to your left, though.
Oh,
Unless
I'm
that's
looking.
Aslan. Unless that's Aslan, you might probably want to worry a little bit.
Oh, that it's got to be friendly fire.
Well, then it's
Well,
Aslan.
that's actually friendly fire means you got hurt by it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't call it friendly fire if it doesn't hit you,
Now that one
right?
you look like the Mad Hatter from Alice in Wonderland. Your head is so big.
Oh, yeah.
You're definitely a waterhead in that one.
And to me, that looks like, to me, I see this and I think Morgan Freeman and Barack Obama had a middle brother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm not sure what this tree is doing to that lion either.
I think it's illegal in 6 states. So,
Yeah, I think that one is doing some underhanded, like, ball touching right there and maybe some rectal manipulation, some anus play, some butt play.
could
Either
be retreat.
that line either needs to back into it or walk away. Oh, speaking of the Mad Hatter,
Yeah.
now see,
I
that's
like.
always uncomfortable putting a hat on over headphones. I don't recommend that.
No, I think that's it. That's all the images I have.
Good
And
stuff.
he keeps making more. He's probably got more stuff. Like he's right now. He's probably making something right now with
I
you
like
in
it.
it.
That's awesome. That's cool that somebody's doing something as a fan. That's awesome.
Yeah, he's probably doing something with you in it right now, without what
For
we're
just
speaking.
$3 a month, you too. Okay. Uh, if all of our fans just sent $3 a month, I could get everyone in my squad, 4 out of 5 people, Zepbound, Wagovi, something like that, so they'd all be thin and unattractive instead of being chunky and unattractive. It's up to you to
now,
decide which 4 out of 5.
now,
4 out of 5.
oh, so when you said you're like the oldest person who does the open mics, when you're at an open mic, usually you're one of
Most
the
time.
oldest people.
Yeah, usually.
Now, are you also like the veteran, like the one with the most years and experience?
No, absolutely not. Because I just hit 3 years,
Mm-hmm.
which is interesting because a lot of people that think they've been doing it 1 or 2 years are like, "Oh my god, I'm such a comedy genius." I'm like, "You've only been doing it for like a year." Uh, I mean, I know people that have been doing it for 4. I know people have been doing it for over 10, 15, 20, whatever,
Yeah.
but yeah, I've only been doing it for 3, and this year, I've significantly backed off on how many open mics I do, so instead of doing, like, 2 a week, I'm now doing, like, 2 a month, and I'll only do it if I have new jokes that I really wanna do or if I feel that it's someplace that I really wanna go. Um, for example, we have a mic that is every Sunday night. I should probably do it again. It's just a fun place to do a mic because it's late at night on a Sunday, and the majority of the people that do the mic are people that I like to watch do a mic,
Right.
and the people that go there to watch it, um, they're already at the bar hanging out, so a lot of times they'll just walk back. Last time we went, there was actually a fair amount of people, and I was able to scare up a couple people, one of which was a really attractive young lady, and she came and watched me and a couple other comedians, so that was cool. Yeah, so I like really what it's called, Make It Spicy. Make It Spicy in Grand Rapids at Mulligan's. Very fun place to go. Mulligan's on Wealthy Street, actually. It's also on Wealthy.
Now, have you been back to now Mulligan's? Is that the place where we went for drinks after? Um.
Yes. That's
Okay.
where we went to drinks after, where Steven embarrassed himself by hitting on everybody in the bar to include the guys, who he insists he didn't, but I'm pretty sure that guy with the ponytail was deeply into
Digging
Steven.
him. He was digging Steven.
He was at least
Yeah.
digging he was picking up what Steven was putting down.
Okay. Now, have you been back to Cricket? Is it called Cricket or the Cricket?
I have been back to the cricket. Yeah, we haven't been. We stopped doing shows there after our last dedicated show because they weren't putting any money into it. They weren't advertising. They weren't doing a good job. They weren't picking up their end, and so I was losing a lot of money going there.
All
As
right.
I insist, I'm one of those weird people who insist on paying the comedians
Right.
a
Same
rate.
here.
So I pay them a rate per 5 minute set, no matter how many tickets we sell, no matter what the size of the crowd. So, you lose a fair amount of money doing that. And also I'm 100% sure he's big time MAGA from all of his posts. And he also followed or liked or requested friends from everybody basically on my friends group
All right.
and then was posting shit like a lot of comedians are not MAGA. I don't know if people know that.
All
At
right.
least, if you surround yourself by comedians who are like you're gonna find out their political leanings. Either they have no political leanings or they're like, I am definitely not a Trumper.
Or they're just ignorant of politics, but they
That's
try
very
to talk
possible.
about politics because it's in the news.
Yeah.
And you can tell the difference because they say things that are like really stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's clearly leaning towards, the more radical type right people. So I'm like, yeah, we're out there because some of his comments, I'm like, wow, don't comment that shit. And then, especially if it's on your business page, don't put it on your business page. You want to put it on your personal page, go ahead, but don't put it on your business page linked to your business. And then people are going to
Right.
think that I'm a MAGA person. I'm like, no, I am not a MAGA person. So we're like, no, we got to get out of there. We did our last show, and we're like, all right, we're done. So. And that's when we switched our model anyway. That's when we flipped our model. So, nope, we're just going to tell people this is how much it's going to cost you to do a show. We get that money guaranteed as a contract, and then we put on the show and pay the comedians, and we're out.
All right, now I am going to. Where is it? I'm looking for the
And when's
news.
this joke stuff? When are we doing this joke stuff? What's on that?
Oh, when I'm looking for the news. I wanted to play the news this morning, and I gotta find it. Oh, that's because I'm looking in the wrong spot. Okay, I just got 2 minutes for the news. Let me get something to drink real quick. Smoke them if you got them, or drink them, shoot them if you got them, and we'll be back in 2 minutes, 3 seconds. This is the Dr. Evan Jelly Roll with headlines and punchlines for Thursday, June 25th, 2026, the 522nd day of the Sex Offender Administration. Trump canceled his planned signing Wednesday of the landmark housing bill Congress passed this week in a striking decision to jeopardize a rare bipartisan success in order to demand that lawmakers pass his restrictive voter ID legislation. Trump is tearing down the people's house and doesn't want the people to own the houses. Republican State Senator Thomas Pitch of Dell Rapids, South Dakota, is facing 2 felony counts of knowingly submitting a falsified or forged document. Pitch turned himself in to the Minnehaha County Jail on Tuesday, and the Minnehaha County Jail is no joke. A magnitude 5.6 earthquake shook Northern California on Wednesday morning, sending items plunging off of store shelves, injuring some people, and knocking out power to thousands of people in Mendocino County. Trump is the other threat to Californians losing their power. Kansas Governor Laura Kelly is moving to defend a Kansas tuition law that helps undocumented students after the federal government sued to overturn it. The U.S. Department of Justice filed a lawsuit challenging the state law that lets students without legal immigration status pay in-state tuition at public colleges and universities. The DOJ said the law discriminates against U.S. citizens. In Trump's administration, equal opportunity should only be available on an unequal basis. This has been the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll with headlines and punchlines for Thursday, June 25th, 2026, the 522nd day of the Sex Offender Administration. Join me live at the Church of Last Resort, Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern Time on MindDog TV. We're back. We're back.
I did it old school way. I just flipped down my visor.
That's what I figured you did because it went black. I was like, oh, okay, yeah. So I just took my camera off because I don't have that on. I don't have a visor on this camera.
I only have it on one. I need to get.
Yeah, I got on my travel kit. The camera that comes with my travel kit when I'm shooting stuff on the road, that has a little flip down thing.
Oh, nice.
And that's also kind of handy because if you put it on back upside downwards, it also can shine, keep the light from hitting it at a bad angle.
Yeah, the visor's nice. One of my cameras came with it and one of it didn't. So some of them also have the slide switch where you can slide the visor. I like those too. I need to switch it because my one that I use for work doesn't have it. I put the better camera for my podcast. It's about work. So I just have like this little paper. I took an index card and folded it 3 ways to make it just fit over the top.
Yeah. Now, when you're working with your patients, what is your go-to beneath the waist garment that you wear?
I still wear pants. I wear pants.
Regular pants?
Oh yeah. Yeah, because I stand up and I show people what to do as part of their self-exam. I'm like, hey, I need you to do this for me, and I'll demonstrate it, and they'll do it for me so I can take a look at them, see how things are going.
So now, are you wearing just regular pants, or are these like the kind of things that you see at Halloween, where you stand up, you see like the bony structure, so you can say, "Okay, I need you to. This is your femur here." So you
This is
stand
so
up.
rarely accurate. I mean, I don't know. Unless
Yeah,
you
but I
had the
mean
one.
they're not anatomically correct, but you can at least show them the bone and go, "This is a femur. This is a
Yeah.
tibula."
It
You
would be
know.
cool though, like if you could rock the Mr. Goodbody suit, like yeah, that would be cool to have that. You remember
Do
that
you
guy who was
just
like on PBS who had the whole body? It was a one piece suit,
right?
and yeah, that was pretty accurate. That'd be cool. But he was like in good shape. He was like a thin guy. Mine would have too many rolls. You see this roll here?
Yeah, but your patients would also have that as well. So you'd be like really helping them.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
You could
true.
say like, you see that now if you would say like, if you remove this layer of fat here, right under here, there's a should be some muscle right in there,
There
and
should be.
that muscle would be a heart,
Yeah.
okay, and that heart shouldn't look like this.
You see this six pack? If you were to tear away all of the layers of fat that we all have, that would still be there.
the your inner six pack is there waiting
It's
for
there.
you to find it.
It's there. All right. So, so where's this joke structure stuff? I'm excited. You gonna
Okay.
tell us how to do a joke? You
I
tell us how
did
to do a
not
joke?
know that you were actually. This is stuff from. Wait a minute, let me make sure I'm sharing it. Yeah,
Is your
okay.
guy still like making his entire podcast about you or his stream about you?
I do not know the answer to that anymore. But what I did was I just have random stuff that I grabbed from the years I've been doing comedy, and so it's not necessarily the greatest audio depending on where it's recorded and stuff.
I'm excited.
But let
I'd
me
like to
see.
see it. I'm excited to
Let me
see it.
I said let me see the first one. Okay. It's not a very long one. This first one is from At the Stage. Okay. Uh this first one is from 2017, and it's I opened for Craig Gass. I don't know if you know who Craig Gass is. He does voices. He's nationally touring comic. He does voices for American Dad.
Cool. All right.
Yeah. So this is just me opening for him. It's like a 2 minute bit, I think. Here. Let's see. And let me know if you hear it because I shared the audio.
Hmm. It's currently silent. Good stage presence. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Yeah, I got no audio. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just gonna say something every 2 seconds so there's no dead air on my side. We have is GD hand gesturing, talking into a mic. Mhm. Sneakers look good. Nice. Yeah, I got nothing. I got nothing. Mm, 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 mm. All right. Yeah, that was great. Yeah, good stuff. I didn't hear anything, but I'm sure it was awesome.
You didn't hear it?
No, I didn't hear anything.
That's what I was saying. If you don't hear anything, let me know.
I did, but you didn't say anything.
Oh, what
I
you
kept
do? Put it
talking
in
the
the
whole
chat?
time. Yeah, I
Oh,
kept
I
telling
did
no,
not.
no, I didn't say
Okay,
that.
then what I'm gonna do, I did not see that. Let me try to reshare that. I'm gonna do that with the audio. Let me remove. Uh, unshare. Let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna unshare it,
Oh, look,
and I'm going
changed.
to share it again. But this some because there's got to be a switch there for the audio,
Okay.
and I will find out what I did wrong.
Maybe everybody else heard the audio because I didn't hear it.
See, it's not fair for me because okay, share. All right, here's window. Oh, I got it. There is a button that you have to click to match. Okay, I didn't click it twice. My bad. I am so bad. Okay, got it. So I'm gonna do it again.
All right.
But with sound this time.
I mean, your stage presence looked good, so I was grading that.
I've been doing the comedy for like 2 years at that point. So let's see here.
I was born in 1959. You can do the math. If you can't, I'm 37. But what I'm saying is, I grew up with certain standards, and one of them was that all of my mass shooters were white conservatives. I don't know what's going on. The UPS guy that went postal, I'm sorry, also, or we like to say, my neighborhood, he went brown on his ass. Asian American. That's new to me. And the guy that did the shooting with the congressman, he shot all the people at the ball game at practice. A Bernie guy. Fucking progressive. I couldn't believe it. It blew my mind. First of all, if they had said to me that he attacked them with a solar-powered axe, I'd have gotten it. It made sense. But a gun attack? No. Gun tax? Yeah.
Okay. I'm assuming you heard it that time.
No, I did. Is that what the blank look on my face was?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that. Oh no, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Oh no, go ahead.
I'm gonna say that the jokes were too fast.
Yeah.
There was not enough of a pause to have the patience, have the crowd acknowledge the joke, understand it, and then laugh. So what I will pause an uncomfortable amount of time.
Well, I know that I was nervous because I always move the mic stand out of my way. And I didn't move the mic stand. Yeah. So I almost always move the mic. It's like, for me, it's like a one gesture. I grab the mic and I move the stand.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's because it was the boom and I don't know, because I'm not used to, I'm the only person I know who uses a boom on the mic stand. And that's because sometimes I'm playing guitar and sometimes,
okay.
But that point I hadn't started playing guitar on stage yet.
Yeah.
So I don't know why I didn't do it. I know I was nervous because of that guy was like the biggest thing I'd ever opened for.
Yeah.
And he asked me to open for him. He approached me. So I was like, okay.
That's on him.
Yeah. It's your fault.
It's on you. It's all on you, man. No, I thought it was good. Yeah, I thought there was some pretty solid jokes in there. I think it's just that there was no time for people to comprehend it. And the thing is that when you tell a joke, sometimes obviously it takes a couple seconds for you to put the joke together.
Right.
The more complicated the joke is, the longer the pause should be.
Right.
And even if they don't laugh at the joke, they might laugh at your pause.
Yeah, because it's kind of like a cue. Now, what if I told you I never practiced that at an open mic? I wrote it a couple of days before I did it. That was the first time I performed it.
Yeah, if you wrote that a couple of days before, it is very good.
Yeah, I did it a couple of days before. And my wife says, "Are you going to do that?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "It just happened. I don't think anybody else has any jokes about it yet." It was about the Asian mass shooter. There was two things. There was two mass shooters. The guy at the baseball field who shot up the Bernie guy who shot up the baseball field with what was his name? Scalise, whatever that guy, the congressman, the softball team. And then there was the Asian guy who shot up the UPS, USPS. No, UPS office.
Gotcha.
So yeah, and those two things happened, it just happened. So I said, I'm doing it right there.
God damn, Asians.
Am I right?
Okay, so yeah.
Yeah, so I would say and I think that people that can take news from the past couple of days and write a joke on it that's a really good talent to have. I am not good at it. One of the reasons and the other thing is I'm always worried that people don't know what the news is
Right.
when I do it. So I'm like, oh, you have to kind of know your crowd. But the people who can do it, I'm like, wow, that's really good. What I don't like is when they take pop culture news and try to do it, because I'm like, I could care less about the pop culture stuff. So if they tell a joke about Kanye and everybody else is doing a joke about Kanye, I'm like, you do realize not everybody in your audience listens to or knows who Kanye is. But yeah, if you take the more mainstream news, or especially if it's like local, or if it's making the local headlines big and it's everybody in the country should know what's going on, then yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good way to do it. But otherwise, it's like when it's like when that stupid submarine imploded with the billionaire on it. Like
Oh
everybody was
yeah.
doing jokes on
Yeah.
that.
Ocean was it? Ocean. I agree. I was going to call it Ocean Gate. Ocean something.
Yeah, and I feel like you always get kind of screwed because the late night hosts write jokes about that immediately. So if you try to do it the
Right.
next day, you're like, God damn it, they already did it because they got the late night.
Right.
Yeah, whatever.
And you have to, like, in that case, you have to, like, even if you don't watch what they do, you have to assume that they went for the quick low hanging fruit.
Exactly. They went for the quick joke that you got to go for super clever.
Right. So you have to go. That's so like with the Bernie guy, I thought to myself, okay, he's not. We're not known. Progressives are not known for shooting people. We're not known for mass shootings.
Right.
So what would make sense? And I thought to myself, a solar powered axe. That's how a progressive would kill somebody. Something like that. But
I would have
I'm
to think
trying to.
about that. What would a progressive use? Yeah.
Yeah, and so
It's a tough one. It's a tough one to figure out.
yeah. And usually, and that's what open mics are for. You shop, you work around and say, okay, I tried solar powered axe, that didn't work. I tried wind powered machete, I tried renewable bullets. Damn
Be
it.
like, I think I probably would go with. I mean, just as this is minimally thinking about it, I would say that they are gonna. I thought they would have used, a piece of recycled paper. Give them a real severe paper cut.
It just occurred to me, renewable bullets.
Something, yeah,
Yeah.
something that you could, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, but it was,
Or a garrote from one of those ropes that they make out of the shopping bags.
a hemp garrote.
A hemp garrote. That might not be too bad.
Yeah.
That's not too bad.
And when you got time to do it, you can work that. But when you're, like I said, and I was constantly doing that. I did one when I first started. I remember there was the shooting, the bombing in France there was a newspaper called Charlie.
Mm.
When that happened, I immediately went out and did a bit on it, and I thought it was a college crowd, so I just knew that they were going to be like really up on stuff. And my wife says, these are
No.
young guys. My
Yeah,
wife
these
says,
kids they don't. Yeah.
right. My wife says, these are college kids. I said, yeah, they should be like aware. And that's because I thought that today's college kids was like when I was a college kid.
No. Haven't you seen those videos they do where somebody will go interview college kids and ask them just questions we should all know, and they're so far off they don't know what the fuck they're talking about? Oh my god, these people are fucking stupid.
Well, I did not. I thought that they were like college kids, like I was thinking, and my wife warned me. She goes, "They're not going to know. They're not going to know about the bombing in France, about the newspaper that was bombed."
No.
And I'm like, "Sure they are. Everybody's talking about it, right? Well, it was just in the news. It's a big thing.
No.
It's a bombing, newspaper. Civil rights. Freedom of the press. Blah blah." I'm going, and I talked to like I said, I wrote the bit anyway, and I did it, and crickets. And it was a packed.
Wow.
It was a music open mic. So I had like 12 to 15 minutes.
Oh yeah.
That's what they give bands, and nothing. Nothing.
That's funny.
And the thing is, that the worst part is that the next joke I had was a callback to the first one that didn't work. Or the next short story, the next news item was about what's his name? Charlie Manson getting engaged to be married. He was getting married to some woman named Star something. I can't remember her last name. Star
That
Benson.
was, that was his. That was the woman he married before he died.
I don't know if they don't think they actually got married, but they may have. But it was just before he died. Yeah,
I think so, because she got everybody. They were talking about how what she should have done was take his body on tour, because everybody would have wanted to see it, and she would have made a shitload of money doing that.
Yeah, well, the story was about a woman named Star, so I don't know if he went on to marry her or not. But yeah, they got engaged like on Valentine's Day or something.
Yes,
And
you are
so-
correct, Heavy Kev. Most Americans do not know where New Zealand is. I know you're Kiwis, and I know where you are. Are you? So there. Most
Yeah,
people
so-
also don't know that region of the world is considered Oceania, correctly, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, see, this is how dumb we are. We are dumb people. We're dumb.
Isn't that where Atlantis was?
Yeah.
Well,
and
Atlantis
that is
was
where,
between New Zealand and Australia.
yeah, that is actually, everybody thinks that Aquaman is from, like, the new canon thinks that he's from, like, where it's really cold on the coast and everything, but he's really from Australia, New Zealand area. Yeah.
Now, I
That's
think
where Atlantis is.
I think Marvel has Prince Namor near the Caribbean. I'm not certain now. Near
This is
Haiti.
the other thing I didn't understand about that. Back to nobody cares about comics and everything, but isn't Aquaman as strong as Superman
In his world,
in the
yeah.
comics? Isn't he as strong as Superman?
Well, the funny thing is, I don't know that because from the comic books, he's like royalty, and he can talk to animals. And I think he's strong in the water. But I thought, like, out of the water, he was not very strong. But then again, most of my Aquaman canon came from the TV series.
Oh, Super Friends?
Oh, before Super Friends.
Oh, before Super Friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had a little show, him and Aqualad.
Yeah. No, I don't know any Aquaman fans. It would be hard to find somebody who's like, oh, I'm a strict Aquaman fan. Aquaman's my guy. I don't know. I don't know if that's a thing. Yeah,
Well, you'd find him.
Yeah.
You'd find him. You have to look far enough on the scale.
There's got to be someone who's an Aquaman fan. So what's your next joke? That's
Let's
all I have
see
to say
here.
about that one.
Okay, let's see here. The next one is from 2020. It's from okay, this one's a little bit longer. It's 2020. It's a birthday party. It's my 60th birthday party, and we're talking. Well, I'm calling this Conception Day, and you'll probably get a gist of it if you can follow along. Let's see here.
Now, the other thing about my birthday being November 19th, when people find out, they go one of two things. Oh, Scorpio. His poor wife. Or they say, oh, Scorpio, his poor wife. Depending on what you think of Scorpios. Now, but November 19th, see, I love to do math. I love math. When my mother was alive, I used to call her every February, and I'd say, Happy Conception Day. Because if you do the math, let me show you. Okay, I was born here. The average gestation period is 280 days. It takes me right here. I was conceived on Valentine's Day. That's right. If you do the math, I was conceived on Valentine's Day because I don't believe in CPT. I was exactly 280 days. So I was born on Valentine's Day. I was conceived on Valentine's Day. The other kids? The firstborn, my sister, Cookie, do the math, she was conceived on St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, St. Patrick's Day. We weren't Irish, but I wish they were here to hear this. I do. See, they were drunk. Yeah, they were drunk. March 17th, you darn right they were. And guess what? Who's the accident now, Cookie? Yeah. She's used to call me the second accident. Yeah. See, science is on my side. Now, my brothers, they were both conceived in July. Hot July. Okay?
It's still hot.
That's right, still hot. So you know, July was kind of like this. Get off me, it's hot. Leave me alone, it's hot. All right, be quick. Quicker. For me, see, Valentine's Day, now to be honest, full disclosure, my parents were separated at the time, so my father had to do a little begging. It's like, who is it? Elaine. It's me, Ernest. What you want? Hey girl, Valentine's Day. So, I brought you some magnolias and some chocolate candy. You probably stole them. Me? Steal magnolias? So,
Jesus. Okay.
What? You didn't like my steel magnolias joke?
Sorry, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Pretty good.
I still laugh at it because it's so stupid.
That's so stupid. That was the good joke. That was a good joke. The July joke and that part was good.
Yeah.
And that was how many? That was how many years in now? When you did
that was 2020, so I was 5 years in.
5 years in. Okay. Yeah, pretty good. I think the crowd was into it. The crowd was into it.
Yeah.
It's always hard with videos because you're like, well, what's the crowd involvement? What's the mood and everything? It's hard to watch videos and laugh unless it's a straight up killer joke.
Yeah.
So when I watch, people that are quote touring comedians or big time comedians, most of the time I'm not laughing. I'm like, yeah, it's interesting. It's good. I could see where I would laugh if I was there. But for sure, yeah, the Steel Magnolian jokes would make me laugh 100% because it's so dumb. And the part where you're like, be quick, and then you're like, quicker. That part was funny with the July. That was good.
Yeah, the hardest thing about that was my brother was in the audience, and that was the only time he'd ever come to anything I'd ever done. He wasn't there for no other show, and he showed up at that one because I had free liquor. Free food and liquor. That was a birthday party that I had for when I turned 60, and I don't really know how to do I don't vacation well. I don't do celebrations well. So when my wife and I decided to do that, I said, well, the only way I'm going to do it is if I perform stand up, because otherwise I feel uncomfortable hosting. Everybody saying it's your birthday, happy birthday, happy. I feel uncomfortable with that. So
yeah, I don't think my family has yet to figure out what I really want to do for my birthday, because they're always like, let's go out to dinner, let's do this. I'm like, I don't like to go out to dinner. I hate going out to dinner. The food's never as good as somebody could make at home. You gotta wait, all these other things. So I don't like, and then you're paying a shitload when you could have had like a really nice meal at home for the same amount of money you paid.
right.
And all I want is, I just want to hang out with my children. That's all I want to do. For my birthday or for Father's Day. Like for Father's Day, they're like, what do you want? I'm like, I want to sit on the deck with my children and read a book. I want us all to read a book. Did you think I got that? Did not. Like, God damn it. Because it happened to coincide this year. Father's Day was my mom's birthday also.
Oh, okay.
And so I was like, oh shit, it's my mom's birthday. Let's make her dinner. I got her and my dad rocking chairs, also outdoor rocking chairs, so they could sit on them and relax. So I didn't get to do what I wanted to do, which is fine because it was my mom's birthday. It's far more important than Father's Day.
Yeah. See, the next one I have here. Okay, it's from 2021. The piece is called Die, Die, Die. And basically, I think they should be able to understand. They don't understand what it's about. I'll explain I'll set it up. My aunt had a stroke and my mother was taking care of my aunt. I don't think this is the whole bit. I don't think it's the whole routine, but it's probably halfway through. So I'm just saying that just in case people don't understand. It's about my aunt who suffered a stroke, and my mother's taking care of her. All right, here we go.
On the ticket, on the flyers, it says GD Fenderson. I'm GD Fenderson on
Damn
stage.
it.
And some of you may
I did
wonder
it
what
wrong
GD
again.
stands for. I was actually named after my aunt, my Aunt Dodie. No, the D doesn't stand for Dodie. Her name is Gwendolyn, and my name is Glenda Wayne. I know, Glenda Wayne, Gwendolyn. Apparently, my mother also had dyslexia. But I was named after my Aunt Dodie. And my Aunt Dodie and I were very close because I was her namesake. And when she got, and her and my mother were also very close. They were very, very close. And they used to throw parties all the time. Every weekend, they threw 3-day parties that started on Friday and ended at Sunday with breakfast. And then my aunt had a series of strokes that left her incapacitated. She was wheelchair bound. And my mother was her primary caretaker. And my Aunt Dodie, she couldn't move except for her arm. And the only thing she could say was, die, 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 die. And so you walk into a room, and my Aunt Dodie would say, die, 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 die. And my mother, in the very beginning, was frustrated. And she'd say, Dodie, I know you're in there, but I don't know what you're trying to say. Die, 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 die. So my mother began to interpret what she thinks my aunt is saying. You walk in the room, die, 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 die. That's right, Dodie. That's your nephew, Glenn. You know Glenn, right? Die, die, die. Yes, and that's his girlfriend, Kim. You remember Kim, right? Die, die, die. Yes, that's very good, Dodie. Very good. You remember them. It's very good. Well, after a while, my mother gets tired of just the little chit-chat. I come to visit. Die, die, die. That's right. That is Glenn and Kim. That's right. Die, 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 die. Aunt Dodie says you need a haircut. And she hopes the two of you are using protection. Die, 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 die. And she's glad to see the two of you still together because we didn't think he'd be able to find a girlfriend. We all thought he was gay. Die, 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 die. Are you putting him away? My aunt gets worse and worse. And eventually, I prepare myself that there's going to be a call in the middle of the night, and it's going to be my mother calling me to let me know that my aunt has passed. So I'm sleeping, and the phone rings in the middle of the night, and I pick it up. I can see that the number on the caller ID is my aunt's house. I said, hello. Die, 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 die. Hello? Yeah, your Aunt Dodie called. She says you haven't been by the visit for a while. And when you come by, would you bring a cheesesteak sandwich for me, please? What? Aunt Dodie said that? Die, 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 die. And she also said she doesn't like the idea that you dropped out of college. Genius or no genius, you need an education. Die, 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 die. And she liked Annie better than Kim anyway. She doesn't think Kim is good enough for you. She liked Annie. Annie had baby making curves, you know, those hips, those baby hips. And at the time, my cat that I had, his name was Jean-Claude Van Damme Cat. And he walks in, and he looks at me and he goes, Mom, Jean-Claude just walked in, and he says he doesn't think that Aunt Dodie is saying those things. And he thinks you're using her as an excuse to say things to me that you wouldn't say to my face. Die, 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 die. Oh, that's bullshit. Aunt Dodie said it's bullshit. And what would you think that I would do that? Shut up. I'm not being mean to my mother. Well, you talk to her. Oh, yeah. Well, fuck you. You thought I was gay, too. So I let my mother and my cat talk this out. I'm not going to.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that bit. I don't really have too much to say about that one. That one's pretty good.
Thanks. That's 2020. Yes, that's 5 years. No, 6. I can't remember. I started in 2015, 2014. So I was 6 years in.
Yeah, that one's pretty good. Yeah, I probably now it would probably just be that first part where we get shortened up a bit. That's probably it.
Yeah.
You know, get to the point that that's what she does after her stroke. Yeah.
I couldn't remember the term baby making hips. I don't know why. Childbearing hips. I could not remember that. And I'm fumbling around going, what the fuck? What is it? It's baby making curves? I couldn't remember. Childbearing hips. I couldn't remember that to save my soul. No, not said. No, that wasn't 2020. What was it? That was 2021. Yeah. So this next one is from 2020. And it's called Clean Set. So it's from the same birthday party that you saw earlier.
All right.
Let's see here.
She told me, she did. She told me it had to be a clean set, and she gave me a list of verbs that I could not say, and it's a long list. But if we go to the blackboard here real quick, I'll show you. If this box here represents the words I cannot say, it's an unknown quantity, we'll call it N. There are N words that I cannot say. There we go.
That was very short. Very short.
All right.
N words I cannot say.
Yeah, it was a good joke. It was a good quick joke. Yeah.
Yeah, I was experimenting with doing stuff with the chalkboard. Actually, I started using the chalkboard because of that joke. I wanted to demonstrate the N word, like I was being studious. And so after that, I developed like maybe 4 or 5 jokes where I could go to the chalkboard and pretend I'm writing stuff out.
Yeah, I think the imaginary chalkboard is always a helpful bit for certain things. I mean, it's always in people's back. If you're a comedian, it's not in your back pocket. I think that's dumb. It's a good prop that isn't a prop.
Yeah.
If you're going to explain something, like I have this one bit that I was going to do that I never did, but it's about the pussy to cock ratio. And you have to like try to explain it as an equation because it's so difficult. Basically, the premise is, wouldn't it be nice to have an app that tells you what your pussy to cock ratio is for your prospective partner, and it's based off of. So if you've never had sex, you have a pussy to cock ratio of 0.
Right.
If you have sex with someone who's never had sex with anyone else, you both have a 1. They've had a cock, so they've got a 1 for the cock, and you've got a 1 for the pussy. But the minute you start having sex with other people, your pussy to cock ratio changes. And that can get very difficult depending on how many pussies or cocks your other partner has had. And so it would be nice to have an app that can keep track of that for you so that when you go to date somebody, you can look at the ratio and determine if you should be in a relationship with them. But I was going to explain it on the chalkboard because it's so difficult.
Now, my version of that was, let me see. My wife and I both have had, we weren't virgins when we met. We both had previous partners, but I do not care about how many partners my wife has had. It doesn't matter to me how many men she's been with. What I care about is if you took all of the penises and laid them end to end, how long would it be? And how many of mine does it take to equal that length? So I would know. So I would know how many times I have to have sex to equal all of that dick.
Seems like that. I'm not going to do that because that's unfair to me. Like then, you would really have to. I'm like, oh yeah, that's not good.
But when it comes to pussy is not linear. It's actually more volume. It's like good business. It's volume. And so vagina would be measured in cup loads, or so cups, then gallons. So when someone says they're swimming in pussy, we're talking a big, like a pool or something like that. I can't remember exactly how it did, but that was my version of that pussy to cock ratio.
Yeah, I will probably never do that bit. So if anybody wants to do it, go ahead, because it's not in my not my style of comedy. I just thought it was funny.
Well, it's sometimes I have done that where I've come up with something and I go, there's no way I would say, I wouldn't. There's no place for that in my set.
Yeah, that's how I am. I'm like, I think it's a fun set. That would be a good fun set to do if somebody else wanted to do it. But me personally, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah,
It doesn't fit me because I don't talk about sex. I don't talk about dicks or pussy. I don't do that. So I think I talked about it. I talked about it in depth on my podcast. With my podcast, it was funny that way. But otherwise, I'm like, I'm not going to do that in front of an audience at all. It's just not my comedy style.
Now, I know a friend of mine had a joke about ghosts and why you don't see black ghosts. You know, they're always white ghosts. You don't see black ghosts. And so I said to him, when he told me that, when he was doing the joke, afterwards I came up to him, I said, that's because they're called spooks. And he starts laughing and he goes, I can't tell that joke, because he's white. He goes, I can't tell that joke. I said, you're sure you can? I said, you can do anything you want if you sell it. You know, just be comfortable with saying it. You know, just say it. And he wouldn't do it. And I thought, what a waste of a punchline. So I wrote a joke about my dead father, and so I could use that.
Mhm.
And it's like my father came to me in the vision, and I said, Dad, you're a ghost. He goes, no, I'm a spook, or something like that. So, but that, you know, but I only did it because I wanted him to know that it worked.
Yeah. I feel like, he should have done it, because that's not, I don't think that's a bad joke to do. And there's going to be people that don't get it too. That's the kind of the thing is you gotta have to kind of take some power away from shit. You know what I mean? That's the whole point. You know, that's one of the other points of comedy is like, let's take power away from this bullshit over here. As long as you're not doing it in a mean way where you're being derogatory saying that, more like you're like making fun of a play on those words. That's different. But I think that would have been, it depends on who you ask.
Now, if he said the difference between a comedian and a humorist, I would know that answer. I think the difference between being funny and humorous is that I think funny implies laugh out loud, ha ha ha. You know, and humorous would be like, oh, I see what you did there. Even though, you know, you may not laugh out loud, you appreciate either the creativity or the message, or, you know, I think funny is more reaction and humorous is more of an appreciation. What do you think?
I think that you can accidentally be funny, and it takes a little bit more. No, I think you can be accidentally both. Like I would say that my mother is not trying to be funny, but she's funny. When she's trying to be funny, she's hilarious because it's so ridiculous. But the majority of the time, she can be humorous without trying. So I don't know. I don't know. That's a tough one. But I agree with you. I think funny is just like you're dying laughing. Humorous is like they don't necessarily have to put a lot of thought into it. In other words, they're not trying to be humorous. You're like, oh, okay. But when they're clever, you're like, okay, yeah, exactly. You're like, oh, okay, I see what you did there. But I think, if you say what's the difference between like a stand-up comedian and a humorist, that's a different question.
Yeah.
It gets even more convoluted when you say what's the difference between a comedian and a stand-up comedian. That's an easier answer also. Because like I don't consider myself a stand-up comedian at all. But I do consider myself a comedian.
Right.
So there's, kind of difference there, I guess.
Well, I think the stand-up comedian got defined to more like a laugh. I think the differences are the laugh to joke ratio?
Yeah.
I think that's the difference also. Only because, thank you, Johnny Carson, he established, I don't know if he's established the laugh to joke ratio rule, but he's the first one that I know of to monetize it. You know, for his show, they had to have like certain number of laughs per second because of the sponsors. It was like, for him, it was like laughs per dollar for him. Yeah.
And I think that if you look at it from a production set, if you look at it from a producer standpoint, when you go to look at people, you're like, well, if they're doing a 7-minute set, ideally, hopefully, if you're just for open mics, hopefully they're getting 7 periods of time where people are laughing. If you're
Right.
lucky, it doesn't necessarily happen that way. But if you can understand where they're going, you're like, oh, here's that structure, and they did a really good job. And that's somebody who I think could do a show. And I'm going to ask them, do you have 10 minutes? Do you have a strong 10 minutes? Do you have whatever? For me personally, I've heard people say you need to laugh every 30 seconds. That's
Right.
insane because there's no way you're doing that unless you're a one-liner like Jackie Martling. The joke man can get a joke. He can get a laugh
Yeah.
every 30 seconds because he's telling these very quick jokes.
Right.
So that's okay. But yeah, I think a lot of it is I'll look at it and go, I've got 7 jokes that I want to do in my 7-minute open mic set. And I'm always wrong. My jokes, I have a steady at least an hour and a half worth of material that I could do and put it together.
Right.
Because my idea of like, oh, I'm going to do these 7 jokes, I get through like 4. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I still grossly underestimate. So if people say, do you have 20 minutes? I'm like, absolutely. Absolutely. I'll go till you stop me. I'm like, you can literally light me at 1 minute and I'll wrap it up from wherever I'm at.
So what would it take for you to put together a show of your own to do a 45-minute set? Now, I'm not even if it's just for posterity, because that's the reason why I'm doing mine. Mine is just for posterity because nobody's going to give a shit about me. I'm not going to be around long enough for people to care.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it too, because the show we're going to do in October, we're each doing a roughly 20 minutes.
Oh, okay.
So, and I'm just trying to figure out what the lineups, like what order we're going in. But I'm like, well, I'm going to have that one filmed for my 20-minute set for my 20-minute show or whatever. But I have easily an hour and a half that I could make into a good 45-minute set. That's my goal kind of for not this year, but the following year is to do my own show that I'm going to get lighted well. I'm going to do it at a nice theater and I'm going to do it a free show, all those things. So I can, and just literally try to pack the crowd in so I can actually do that video for myself and have it done and boom, have my own show that I did. Whether it goes anywhere or not, but I'm doing it, for me. Ideally, obviously, is I'm not one of those people who does comedy that's like, oh, I'm going to be a headliner and I'm going to open and I'm going to be a feature and everything. That was never my goal anyway. My goal was always to be someone who's like, oh, can you bring your podcast to this town and do a show for it? Can you do a live recording of your podcast or whatever? Has always been my goal is podcast first. And I just don't think that I'm that funny in stand-up where most people understand what I'm doing.
Right.
So I've never thought that I'm like, oh, I'm going to be a stand-up comedian. I'm like, I have some goals for stand-up, but the goals for stand-up are minimal compared to my goals for podcasting.
Right.
Yeah.
Now I know that I'm just trying to. I don't know what this is. Oh, Too Fat to Fail. Okay, I didn't know what I called this segment. These are not the actual names of the bits on my set list. But if I say the name of what's on my set list, my set list is to remind me of what the punchline is, of where I'm trying to get to.
Is that how you spell Disillusionist?
That show was called The Disillusionist.
Is that how Disillusionist is spelled?
Oh, no, that's a typo. I didn't catch it.
I was
it's
like,
one U.
Oh, okay. I was like,
1 U and 2 L's.
Okay. That's what I thought. Maybe I was like, oh.
Yeah, I did not catch that. Damn it. So this one I call this one Too Fat to Fail, and it'll make sense later, I hope. Let's see here. Three, 2, 1. I gave myself, maybe I didn't, did I hit play? I did not hit play. I did not hit play. Okay.
See, but here's the thing. I was recently at my doctor's, and my doctor said to me, you're overweight, your cholesterol's too high. You have to cut out fatty foods and sugar and give up all the fun stuff. Because you're eating yourself to an early grave. Apparently he didn't get the letter from people using the state for their client's insurance company. Because if he had that letter, he'd have said, fuck, eat what you want for the next 25 years. But see, my doctor doesn't get it. He doesn't get it. What he doesn't understand is that this is saving my life and my marriage. Yeah, see, this is what you don't know. See, those of you who've been in a relationship a while will understand exactly what I'm talking about. See, that very thing that you loved about them in the beginning, that's why you're gonna want to kill them later on. See, but my wife can't kill me. See, at this size, she can't get rid of the body by herself. As long as I got my letter and my fat, I'm safe. But if I come home and my wife has like a new best friend, a new skinny little friend, then I'm gonna worry. See, because I know that the deal will be for the two of them to kill me and get rid of the body. And then my wife can kill her little skinny friend by herself. And when the police say to her, Mrs. Fenderson, you have no idea where your husband is? She can look him right in the eye and go, he's probably with that skinny little bitch.
Okay. There. That's a.
In the interest of friendship, I will say nothing about that bit.
Go ahead. No. Go ahead. No. Go ahead.
That one is probably not a good standalone video. I would probably have to watch more.
Well, part of that, like so there was a setup before that, which I cut out because it starts off with a callback to something else. It's attached to, like, it starts off with saying the doctor didn't get the letter. Well, there's two other whole segments about the insurance company, an actuary, when they decided to settle my claim, just before they sent me a letter to say they're settling my claim.
Uh-huh.
And it took like 7 years for them to do this. 7 years for them to say, we're going to settle your claim. And then they said in the letter, we estimate you have 300 months to live.
Oh.
Yeah, that was in the letter. And I'm thinking that was meant for like another lawyer. So they said, we can drag this out because we think he has 300 months to live. That's what I'm thinking. That's what that information was for. Because that information didn't serve me anything.
Right.
You know, and so initially I'll talk about that letter.
Okay.
And it didn't say how long a month was, because there's like, I go through I think I mentioned like 7 different units about how a month is measured 7 different ways.
Okay.
You know, I mean, if you're just looking at the calendar, we have a 28-day month, a 29-day month, a 30-day month, and a 31-day month. That's 4 right there. Mm-hmm. So, and then there's the lunar month, which is like 28 point something days. And then there's the 9 months of gestation. And if you divide the 280 days, that's like 27 something months, you know, per days per month. So I go through all these definitions of a month. And so which month are they talking about? Because if you take the shortest month and compare it to the longest month, there's a difference of like almost a year. Actually 9 months. There's a 9-month difference between the shortest month and the longest month over a period of 300 months.
Well, I still don't think that if you look at the year that you did that, even if you went conservative, we'll say that every month is 28 days.
Right.
It's not a lot of time. It's 10 years.
I can't remember what it came out to. So the other thing, it came out to 25 years, I think.
Yes, I wonder what they're using, because you said 300 months.
I think it came out to 25 years. But or at least, yeah.
Well, if you did each year, if you did each month is 30, that's only 10 years. Right? 300 divided by 30, that's 10 years.
365.
Well, you're doing by months.
Oh, I was thinking 365 days into 300 months. Wait a minute. Now I'm lost.
So
okay,
if you said
there's 12 months in a year. So you would divide 300 by 12.
Okay.
To find out how many years that is. And I think that's 25.
Yeah, it comes out to 25. What I did was I said, well, how many days per? So what we'd have to do is we have to say 300 months. 300 months.
Yeah, because we don't know how long the month is, but we know that there's 12 months in a year.
Okay.
So 25 years. Or it could be longer, or depending on, again, how long those months are or how short those months are.
Oh,
So that's
sure.
another thing. That's another part of that equation.
So basically what you're saying is we know that there's 365 days.
Right.
So if
And
we
that's
took
the other thing.
30
Yeah,
months.
that's the other thing that establishes we know how many days. They should just told me how many days or how many years, but not how many months.
Well, first of all, they're full of shit. They don't know that anyway. Yeah, so that's kind of the part
Well,
of the thing. You don't know.
Yeah, so that's part of it, the fact that they sent me that letter. And then they didn't say when it started. And that's another joke. Did it start when they sent out the letter, which meant I now had 22. I think at that point when I told it, I had like instead of 25 years, I had like 18 years left because it took them 7 years to settle the claim. So I don't know, did it start when I filed the claim? Did it start when they sent the letter out? Did it start when I opened the letter, which means I should save it until I really need it? And so from the moment I open the letter, I have 300 months to live. And that's a separate joke there. It's separate. And so that's what they're laughing at when I go, they didn't get the letter. And it,
Gotcha. Yeah. I mean, and that literally is the long form joke. So if you ask Jackie to watch this, he'd say, okay, that's just this joke right here. Guy goes to the doctor and the doctor says, I have bad news and terrible news. Which one do you want first? And the patient says, oh my God, give me the bad news first. He says, the bad news is you have 24 hours left to live. He said, oh my God, what's the terrible news? So the terrible news is I forgot to call you yesterday.
Yeah.
So that if Jackie watched it, he's like, that's just this joke right here.
Yeah. In a way it is. The short form.
I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, yeah,
but,
the short form, that's the short form joke. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. But the long form is fuck you, Jackie. No, just
the long form is I will get to this joke in 7 minutes.
It's not a joke, it's a short story.
This is it's a humorous interpretation of this joke.
I would like to talk to you about that. Sorry.
What's up? You got the pudding bun and the pudding bob over here. Yeah.
Okay, now this one is this is from that birthday party. It's called They Die Too. And basically, I don't know where it starts. Again, this is one of those long things. I'm talking about.
God damn, how many specials has this guy had? Just kidding.
Oh, a lot.
So many.
But
so goddamn many.
But this one, the whole premise is based on the fact that when I was very little, I took everything I read literally.
Okay.
I did not know the difference when I started to read in kindergarten. I didn't know the difference between a comic book and a documentary, a biography, because in my mind, if they put it in print, it has to be real.
Mm.
And so this is talking about when I read the Bible as a kid, I believed it literally. And so you too, Ann, you have a great day.
Ann.
And she checks out at around 11 so that she can watch another show.
Oh.
Yeah. And so I will pick this up. That's the premise, that I've read the Bible and I'm trying to perform miracles. And here we go. And until I was about 6 years old, my father was on the fence about whether or not I was normal or not. Okay, back then we didn't have autism scales. We had an all-shitism scale. And depending on how loud my father went, that let me know how bad I screwed up. See, when I was little, I believed everything I read. Everything I read, I took it literally. I couldn't tell the difference between a comic book and an instruction manual. Because when I was little, if it was in print, it was real. That's it. I just took it all literally. And one time my father came home and I was laying at the bottom of the steps. And I had my Peter Pan book in my hand. And he looked down and he saw the Peter Pan book in my hand and he didn't bat an eye. He knew what happened. Peter Pan, kid, bottom of the steps, and tried to fly. And all he did was just look at me and went, oh shit. When I was little, I tried to
I read the part in the Bible. Actually, I'm reading all the time. I read the Bible. The summer between kindergarten and first grade was my most dangerous year. Because in that year, that year I read my Bible and my encyclopedia and my dictionary. And that much knowledge, without explanation, in the hands of a first grader is devastating. And I got to this little part where it says, you shall do these things and greater. And I believed it. And I started trying all those little miracles. I thought I could do every last one of them. So I started off with the easy one, walking on water. And again, it's just when my father died, like I said, when I was 8. But those last few years before he died, I'm not sure if my mother actually killed him. It may have been me. I tried to park. Well, I didn't have a red seat, but I did have a bathtub. And we did have red dye number 3 back before they found out it gave you cancer. So I made my own red seat, and I started to read my instruction manual. It says, the Lord blew upon the waters as if it were the east wind, east be this way, and blow. Little ripple. Promising. A little harder. Bigger ripple. Oh, this is going to be great. I can do it. I know I can do this. And I blew until I passed out. I hyperventilated. And my father heard the splash because he was watching me from the other room. And he comes in and he pulls me out of the water and goes, oh, shit. So I didn't give up. I didn't give up. Every miracle I tried, I failed at. Every last one of them. But I wasn't going to give up because I just figured I was just doing something wrong. Maybe I read a word wrong. Maybe I just wasn't big enough. I mean, the water did part a little. Maybe God just has really big lungs. And once I get big, I'll be able to part that Red Sea. Because right now I'm just a little boy. When I'm a man, I should be able to do it. I mean, Moses was old when he did it. He didn't do it as a kid. He was old. So maybe when I get older, I'll be able to part Red Sea. I just have to.
I don't know what happened.
Where did my thing go?
I don't know. I don't know what happened. I had to figure out where. No, it's not there. It's going to be here. And I'm going to try to find out where I was real quick. Because I do not. They die too, right? That's my Aunt Dodie. What's that? Nope. That. They die too. Let's try.
And until I was about 6 years old, my father went off. That let me know how bad I screwed up. See, when I was little, I believed everything I read. Everything I read. I took it literally. I couldn't tell the difference between a comic book and an instruction manual. Because when I was little, if it was in print, it was real. That's it.
Okay.
When I was little, I tried to, I read the part in the Bible.
Maybe just read out. Let's see.
Promising. I wasn't going to give up because I just figured I did part a little. Maybe God just has really big lungs. And once I get big, I'll be able to part that Red Sea. Because right now I'm just a little boy. When I'm a man, I should be able to do it. I mean, Moses was old when he did it. He didn't do it as a kid. He was old. So maybe when I get older, I'll be able to part Red Sea. I just have to grow up. That was my reason. So I wasn't disappointed. So when I was in the backyard and I saw our dog, his dog that I took care of. No, his dog, our dog Bullet, with a dead rodent in his mouth. I was like, oh man, this Bullet, put it down, put it down, put it down. Wait a second, that's dead. Lazarus. Come here, boy. Come here. Give me that rodent.
Yeah, thank you. Good boy. Sit. Sit, boo-boo. So, I laid the rodent down, and I started praying over it. Now, I know it's supposed to take 3 days, but I was on schedule. Okay? Nothing. What am I doing wrong? Is it the wrong prayer? Maybe I need to stand at the eastern blow. Let's see here. The breath of life. Okay. Nothing. So I took the rodent, and I was ready to give up. And I said, wait a second, let me get my manual. Bible. Let me get my manual and see what I'm doing wrong. So I put the rodent in the trash can, cover it up, and I start to walk toward the back door, and I get halfway there, and I hear the lid pop off, and the rodent hopped out and just runs across the alley and stops halfway. And he turns around and looks at me. And I looked at it and I went, all right, it worked. And the rodent looked at me like, thanks. I thought I was a goner. So I was so excited, I ran the house and I told my father about it. I said, Dad, I got one. I did it. I brought a rodent back to life. He goes, what kind of rodent? So I ran downstairs, got the encyclopedias, brought it up to him, and I showed him. He goes, oh, shit. That's a possum. And I looked at him and I said, that's an opossum. They die too. I'm counting it.
Okay, that's that one. That's it. That's all I saved. So
This was pretty good. No, it was not bad. Now you know the difference between a humorist and a comedian. A humorist takes a really long time to get to the joke.
now the thing I was doing in the middle there was and I don't know if people caught on that in the beginning, that when we were little we didn't have an autism scale.
Yeah.
I had an all shitism scale, and that's why my father goes all shit. That's how if I knew, depending on how he said all shit, I knew how much I fucked up. And so that's what all the little all shits are for, and that's why they're giggling. I don't know, because I had a problem with that video there. Not in me executing it, not because it's fine there. There's something I fucked up somewhere at any rate.
Yeah.
But thanks for indulging me.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, I like I think one of the other things with it's anything with I think that it depends on where your preference is for doing shows also. You know, people are like, "Oh, I like doing clubs," or "I like doing theaters," or "I don't mind doing this or that." I think that for sure humorists probably do better in a theater setting.
Yes.
I
love theater
to
settings.
a club setting. I mean, personally, I like both of them. There's as a person who practices stand-up comedy, I like both of those settings. I don't think that I think that I also prefer the stadium. I mean the theater.
Yeah.
Stadium would be awesome, but I know I like the theater. I like the theater also. The only and it's not a downside because people are like, well, you know, I like to interact with the crowd. You can interact with the crowd in the theater also because it's not a big theater. You know, you can just get crowd participation on a grander scale. But yeah, preference wise, I do like the theater more. But I mean, I would like to do either. I usually say I'm available for booking. Nobody ever reaches out, but I also say, well, like, I'm available for booking, but I'll say no. Because maybe that's why people don't reach out at all anymore either. Because I've had people reach out and I'm like, I don't want to do your show unless you can tell me these people like, you know, gallows humor. I don't want to go do a show somewhere that were people on like that. Unless you're doing a multifaceted type show where you're like, I always like to have a gallows humor comedian on the set list or on the set, you know, or on the lineup. Like, I like a clean person, a raunchy person that, you know, they're like, let's throw in a gallows humor person. If it's like that, then I'm like, okay, cool. You know, I'll do that. But if people know that's what you like, I guess.
Yeah. Now, and the funny thing is, like, because when you're doing comedy, there are ideal conditions to do comedy, and then there are non-ideal conditions. Like when you do comedy clubs, they like to keep them around 68 to 70 degrees inside.
Yeah. Nice
Dim lighting. What else? Well, I'm not it's a good sound, but that depends on each club has their own idea what good sound is.
Right.
But so you would like the temperature down and you would like the lights down. So in a place like that where it's just no lighting, not no lighting, but no lighting per se. It's just a room,
Yeah.
you know.
And that's the cool thing about theaters, because they've got theater lighting on the sides and like on the
Yes.
floor. So you
Yes.
can, and they can turn that up or down. You're like, oh, I can see the crowd, but it's not overpowering how well I can see them. But you can see them. And then of course you can see the first couple rows, also first
Right.
few rows, which is nice. And you can gauge how you're doing there. So not that I've done theaters often, but the times I have, I'm like, this is awesome. I really
Yeah.
like doing that. Obviously, the more people in the crowd, the better it is. And
Yes.
also with a theater, you're like, okay, well, they're not getting table side service because it's a theater.
Right.
And so if they want drinks or everything, they're going to go all the way out of the theater to where all that stuff is, they can get it there. But yeah, I mean, it's all the way. It's good. Either way is fun to do it. People are asking, I would look at it and say, yeah, this is fun. I would definitely do that. But again, that's not my big thing. It's not a big deal. If I get asked, I get asked. If I don't, I don't.
I get my chops busted for, well, I guess by comedians for things they don't understand, I guess. Like, I will do a 90-minute show by myself. That's not a problem. And I'll get busted for, what? But it's a 90-minute show. It's not, to me, 90-minute stand-up. It's a show, which is, I think, a different thing. But
sure, yeah.
And when I do a 90-minute show in a theater, I will give an intermission. I'm not afraid to let people go get a drink, stuff, and come back. A lot of comedians are afraid that if the audience leaves, you're going to break the rhythm, the mojo, whatever. It's like, no, to me, this is like a one-man show. It's theater in my mind.
Sure.
And so, give them a break and let them come back. And so when I was in California, that's pretty much what we did, except for it wasn't in a theater setting. It was like in a community center. I was booked at a community center. And lighting, there was no alcohol being served. So no alcohol, no stage. I'm just performing in front of a bunch of people in chairs, like 40, 50 people in chairs, rows of chairs, and no lighting per se. I mean, no, you can't control the lighting. It's like one level of lighting for everyone.
Yeah.
And it got to, and about toward the end of the first half, I realized I was sweating like a small pig. The temperature had gotten to be like 76 degrees. The air conditioner was not turned on, and we were in California.
Yeah.
It was fucking hot. So we took the break. We took the intermission. We got the air conditioning. We got the temperature down, and Dylan Brody was in the audience, and he said to me something that he goes, "You did well." He says, "You were funny. You did well." He goes, "And you did it with a sober audience at 76 degrees and horrible lighting."
Yeah.
He goes, "You performed well under the worst possible conditions." And I didn't even think of it as the conditions. I was just thinking, I'm hot, they're hot. Let's give them a break. Let's get them some drinks, and let's get this place cooled down. Literally, that's what I was thinking. I wasn't even thinking about the comedy anymore. I was thinking about the audience. But afterwards, when he said that to me, I was like, he's right. And then someone else said the same thing to me later on. The person who booked it, it goes, "You were really funny and under the worst conditions."
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking maybe maybe I am, maybe there's something there. If you can do well under bad conditions,
Yeah. I firmly believe in that regard. The conditions don't matter if the crowd's digging it. And if they're into it, if they came there for a show, the conditions don't matter that much. So I think that's really good. There's just so many areas out there that it's hard to do comedy, but if the crowd wants it, it doesn't matter. They don't care about what it's like. Yeah, this kind of sucks, but I came here for this. And I don't think there's a problem with intermissions at all. We used to do it where we did It was literally, we set it up like it was 2 shows.
Right.
And so at the intermission, so what we did is we had the host who stayed the host all the way through. And then what we did was we had an opener, a feature, a headliner.
Oh, okay.
And we did that in 2 parts. So then we took an intermission and did the same thing again. And
Oh,
the
okay.
hardest, and I would tell everybody who did the opener, I'm like, you have the hardest job out of everybody.
Yeah.
But if you're cool with, and I would pick somebody, I would literally tell them like, you're going to do, 10 minutes or 7 minutes or whatever, but I need your tightest 7 to 10 minutes that works. You have the hardest job because you're coming on after the intermission. And and I would pick people that I for sure knew could do it and were up to the challenge. And they always went really well because
Yeah.
at the and this was a place that had food and drinks and like popcorn and all that other stuff. So we would give them a good 15-minute intermission to just hang out and talk to everybody. And it was in a club type setting and it went really well. But yeah, I literally said, I'm like, here's part 2 or like our show, like the show part 2 or whatever. And yeah, usually went really well. A lot of fun.
Now you don't hear comedians complaining about the audience or the lighting or anything else when they're doing well. It's only when they don't get the that's like, well, yeah, but the lights were too high, the temperature was awful, they didn't have enough to drink, the stage was too low, the seating was too high, they paid too much to get in,
Yeah. I don't usually complain about I guess that's the advantage of the type of comedy I do. I don't really complain about the audience at all. I definitely don't really do it to them unless they're being dicks. And then I'll be like, all right, you're being a dick or whatever. But I don't complain about any of that stuff because to me, it's just like, oh, it's just my type of comedy. I made this post the other day about how everybody says that they killed, and that kind of annoys me, especially if I was there. Like, I was there, or everybody inflates, oh, we had so many audience, but sold out show and all that sort of stuff. And I'm like, I was there. There was like, who are you hyping up? But I made this comment. I'm like, I'm surprised that everybody says that, all the people that say that they killed. I'm like, because this is year 3 for me. And never once would I say that I fucking killed, for one thing. Because it's never happened to me. I've had a few times where people were just laughing the whole way through. And like, I've had ones where like 2 or 3 shows where people are just dying laughing.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, because I'm so not used to that. Then I'm like, I guess I did really fucking well, or this is my audience. This is how I always say it anyway. I'm like, this is my audience.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I don't normally, at no point have I, had the entire audience just be like, wow, that was our thing. And it will happen sometime, but I'll look, and this is why it's really important, I think also, is to record your sets and watch them.
Yes.
And, and keep a few on hand from each year so you can see how you've progressed. Cause I'll look at stuff, from my first year, I'm like, oh, yeah, I can see where I've improved and where, this didn't work or whatever. And I don't look at it and like I'm super cringed out by it. I'm like, no, it's, it takes time. And then people are like, well, don't put it on the internet. I'm like, why? You can see your own progression there. Like I have stuff. I think that there's some benefit to putting it out there and getting constructive criticism about it.
Right.
And I usually appreciate what people say. I did one where people were just arguing with each other. I was like, I'm not even part of this argument, but I did one where this guy just said, just was telling me how terrible it was. And I was like, and I literally said, hey, thanks for your opinion. I appreciate it. Blah, blah, blah. And just everybody jumped on this guy and they were just all arguing back and forth. And I'm not even part of the argument. I'm like, I'm not even part of this argument. But it was pretty amusing to watch.
I mean, I think the best compliment I ever got, at least in social media, there's one guy who used to bust my chops. I mean, whenever I did something, and it was just memes. These are just memes I was doing. He goes, "You are not funny. You're not funny at all." and I'm thinking to myself, okay. And then he said something like, "You are a horrible comedian." So I just said, well, okay. I said, so what comedy have you seen me do? And you're saying that. He goes, well, I'm seeing your memes. I said, but that's not me doing comedy. That's just me creating memes.
Yeah.
I said, you said I was a terrible comedian. And he goes, well, I think you are. I said, okay. I said, well, do me a favor. I said, watch something I've done and give me your honest opinion. And he did. And he came back like a week later. He goes, "I'll you an apology." He goes, "You were pretty funny." I said, "Thanks. I appreciate it." You know, because your memes suck.
You're like, valid. I'm fair. I mean, that's an opinion. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
there's
but
really
memes are
not.
not the same thing as, but
Yeah, I
what
think
the
part of
hell?
it is if you put that stuff out there, you're gonna there's not everybody's gonna like what you do. There's gonna be people who don't even like it at all. You might
Right.
have one person that likes it, but I like to put stuff out there. I'm putting it out there for people to look at it, and if they have a comment on it, great. I don't suspect at all that I'm gonna put something out there that everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, this is great." I can totally rationalize it and look at it and go, "Yeah, I can see where you're saying that." Um, but also, if you're somebody who might not like this type of comedy, I do this joke, and it's one of the videos that I have out there, and it was from quite a while ago, and I still use this joke. It's just better. My pacing's better, all that other stuff. But I do this joke about how I have my parents tied up in my basement,
Right.
and that's a total gallows humor joke. It's a dark comedy joke. If you don't like dark comedy, you are not going to like that joke. Even if you don't like dark comedy, it still might not be a good joke. You might not like it. The point is, that's who I am, and that's the kind of comedy I do. And somebody was all mad about that joke because they're like, I have a friend who was kidnapped. Oh, okay. Well, that's not funny. You can't make jokes about kidnapping because that's not a funny topic. I'm like, sir, do you understand gallows humor at all? Because that is gallows humor. Dark comedy is you make fun of horrible situations.
Yes.
That is what it is. I'm like, and I literally told him, I'm like, I understand what you're saying. I'm like, but that is literally the point of gallows humor. So it just means you don't like gallows humor. So you see, I'm not promoting kidnapping. I'm taking a horrible situation and making a joke about it as if I'm somebody who, and that's why I don't do comedy under my name. I don't do stand up as John Beavers. I do stand up comedy as my character, the Beav Man. It's a character. So the shit I'm saying is one, none of it's not none of it, but most of it's not true.
Right.
And that should be a given. When I get up there and do comedy, nobody's sitting there going and saying, "Oh, this really happened to this guy." No, nobody's saying that. If you're saying that, then you're not understanding the point that this is a character. I do a character for comedy.
Right. Now, the podcast that I do, I forgot what it's called now. What makes us laugh? There is a
Sorry, it's called What Makes Us Sleep. Is that the name of your podcast?
what makes us laugh?
What makes you, who suffers from insomnia, now have a cure? If you suffer from insomnia, stop the Ambien, Lunesta, hydroxyzine, any other substance that you use to sleep, when all you truly have to do is listen to What Makes Us Laugh
Now,
on the
what
Acast Podcast Network.
the next episode we record, the one we're recording tomorrow, I don't know when he's going to air it, but the one he's recording for tomorrow, we're talking about dark comedy movies.
Oh, yeah. Heathers is a great one.
That's on the list. Now, I haven't seen.
Fantastic.
Now, some of the things, it was, when we first did it, when I suggested it to him, I said dark comedy, and I was thinking of dark comedians, and he was thinking of the movies. And so when we got together to record the episode, we were on two different pages, and I was like, oh, I didn't study the movies, and he knows these movies. Like he says, and the director, blah blah blah, and Stanley Kubrick, he did a satire on nuclear war, blah blah. I'm not like, oh. And so we're doing it tomorrow. So I had to go ahead and I started watching some of the dark comedies, or rewatching, because I had never seen The Big Lebowski.
Oh, great movie. I wouldn't consider The Big Lebowski a dark comedy.
Well, I thought I'd seen it.
Okay.
But what it is everything I remember were nothing but trailers.
Ah, weird.
And so when I watched the movie, I'm like, I saw that scene. And it was just the trailers. I never saw the whole movie.
Oh, I love The Big Lebowski. I think that if you're a veteran, at least a combat veteran or somebody who has a combat job as a veteran, I think that all of our goal is to be The Big Lebowski once we're done. Yeah, that's your goal. I'm like, could I be as laid back as the Big Lebowski? Could I
Well, that's
actually
just
let
it.
go?
He's not the Big Lebowski.
Well,
He's
you're
the
right. He's not the
dude.
big. He's the dude. Yeah, I'm
The
sorry.
Big Lebowski is the
Could I
rich
be the
guy.
dude? Could I
Yeah,
live? Could I actually obtain that enlightenment to be the dude? That's like a
yeah.
goal. But yeah, I'm trying. I don't think I
So
can ever do
I'd never seen that. So I just watched that for the first time, and I'd never seen Brazil.
I've never seen Brazil.
And so I watched that for the first time. I watched that with my wife. That is very dark, and my wife is going, "I'm still waiting for the comedy."
Well, out of everything that I've watched, Heathers is the best dark comedy, and Heathers only fell out of favor because of school shootings. That movie was made before school shootings.
That's true. That's true. That's true. That's a good
And then
point.
after school shootings came out, like Heathers fell out of favor, but it is still, to me, that Heathers has a huge cult following. People love. I
Yes.
love Heathers. It is probably one of my most favorite. It is way up there with one of my most favorite movies.
Now, have you seen Raising Arizona?
Yes, I don't consider that a dark comedy either.
Okay, because I was about to watch it. I thought it was a dark comedy, but it's my problem is I don't really know what dark is. Like we've talked about this. Like I don't think of you as being a dark humored. I just think of you as funny.
Thank you.
I don't know what dark means, and so
I think that I am the definition of a dark comedian for sure.
no, well,
Anthony
like
Jeselnik. Anthony Jeselnik is definitely a dark comedian, and if you listen to my stuff and compare it to his, I get way sicker than he does. I don't think he's sick in the stuff that he does. You know, some of the
No,
stuff I say is pretty warped. I would, because she's in a category of her own. I don't think anybody can do what Maria Bamford does.
right.
But if you had to categorize her, I would say she's dark. Also, I would say she's a gallows comedian. And I'm sure a lot of people would disagree with me, but because I just don't think you can categorize her. I don't think anybody can do. I don't think anybody can do her. I don't think so. But if you had to put her in a category, that's the category I would put her in.
I think you have an admirer in there. The sitcom.
Yeah, but nobody cares about the sitcom. I mean, let's be honest.
So now, I'm going to be looking at some. I think I'm going to try to watch Doctor Strangelove.
That's a good one. I think that would be a dark comedy.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to watch that either later this evening or really early tomorrow because we're recording tomorrow at 3. So maybe I'll can watch it between 12 and 3. I don't know how long it is. Probably 90 minutes because that was pretty standard length of a movie back then.
Yeah, that was nice. Same thing with that, and then not a long movie.
Yeah,
these movies that are like 2 hours and 40 minutes, like what the actual fuck? Yeah, but no, I think those are good. That's a good example. I mean, Raising Arizona is just a good movie. I don't know if I would consider it a dark comedy, but people who really study this stuff can tell you what each one is. Most horror movies to me are dark comedies. Look at this, is so ridiculous. Basically, any movie that Nicolas Cage does that's a horror movie to me is a dark comedy.
Well, did you see Daddy Longlegs?
Oh my God, shut up, freaking fat bastard. Daddy Longlegs. I feel like I have.
That's a Nicolas Cage movie, and I think I'm trying to remember. I saw that 2 years ago. I didn't think it was a good movie. My friend Doug was the one who recommended it. He goes, I heard it was critically acclaimed. And whenever someone says critically acclaimed, I want to know who the critics are.
Right.
and how did they acclaim it? Because I'm watching this movie and I'm like, I'm really trying not to fall asleep. I'm really trying real hard. I watched 3 Billboards Outside of Ebbing.
I was going to watch that the other day because when it came out, that was during the pandemic.
Right.
And my son watched it, said it's really good. So it's on my watch list. I still haven't watched it, though.
I watched it the other night again. I'd seen it a few times. I think it's a good movie.
I'll have to watch it.
Yeah, so there's quite a few dark comedies. But I was going through the list. When I was looking at the list, I'm like, okay, American Psycho. I saw that. Get Out. I never saw Harold and Maude.
Oh God, Harold and Maude. I would like to watch that again. I would say that is a dark comedy because they're just the two of them are funny. And then don't they rob a bank or something in it?
I don't know. I didn't see it.
There's a point that it's a great movie. God, she was a great actress.
Now, there was a movie called Parasite, which I did
That
see.
is not funny, so I don't know how it's a dark comedy, but I guess that I guess I would say that when you're talking about comedy, we still have to date it back to Shakespearean. So
Right.
I guess that is comedy.
Fargo, I saw that a few
Fargo
times.
definitely I would say is dark comedy.
American Psycho.
Fight Club? Fight Club, I guess maybe.
Yeah, American
Although it's
Psycho, I
not
think
funny.
well, I think it's funny. I did, well, let's put this way. Again, there's some parts I laughed at, especially when he comes out with the little wetsuit and he's dancing to Huey Lewis in the News?
In Fight Club?
No, I was thinking American Psycho.
Oh, American Psycho. Yeah. Yeah, I guess because they're not serious movies, then they're comedy. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Is that kind of how it is?
I guess not. Now, The Wolf of Wall Street is listed as a dark comedy.
God, that movie's like a million years long.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy it very much. But I'm not a Leonardo DiCaprio fan.
You don't like Leo?
No, I don't. I never
Yeah, like
did.
Leo. Of course you love that movie, you freak. I watched that movie. I didn't want to watch it because it's so goddamn long, but I like Leo, and Henry Zabrowski from last podcast on the left is in that movie. And so that's why I watched it. I literally watched it to see Henry be in that movie.
Okay.
Weird reason to watch it, but that's why I did it.
Yes. Well, no, I never. So I don't know if I want to watch it or not, but Train Spotting is on the list.
Good movie. Really disturbing movie at one point.
That's the one with the kids about the kids, but now they're grown men, and they used to be like soccer.
Well, they're not really grown men. They're still super young, and they're all heroin addicts. And I think it's in Ireland.
I see. Okay,
they're all terrible people. They're basically all terrible people who are heroin addicts.
I may have to watch it again because I thought I'd seen it. But then again, maybe I just saw a lot of the trailers.
Maybe it's Scotland. I don't remember which country.
I said Parasite, and when I said Parasite, I was thinking of the movie called I Care a Lot.
Oh,
it's about a woman who takes care of She basically.
Oh, that's terrible. Yeah, that's the one where she's taking over the lives of people she's becoming their guardian and in charge of
Yes.
That one is terrible. Oh, I hate that movie. Oh my God. I just wanted to kill her the entire time. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Now the woman that plays the old woman that's like the mobster or mobster mom or something.
Yeah.
Because she was the DA in Law and Order for a few years. I really like her character, especially when she's drugged up. She goes, "Oh, you're in so much trouble."
Yeah. But she wasn't. She got away with it. That's what pissed me off. It's like I thought when Peter Dinklage came in, it was going to be over, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
Shut up, Driphausen, you piece of shit. Our time is up anyway. Fuck you. You're going to join freaking 9 minutes in. Shut the fucking 5 minutes in. Fuck off, you fat bastard. You goddamn Amish potato. You fold fucker.
Fold?
Like fold.
Oh, is that because it did? Never mind.
Mm-hmm. Fold fucking bastard. Yeah, well, we're out of time anyway, so fuck off.
Yeah, so I appreciate you hanging out with me, and so I had to do this by myself, and I appreciate you indulging me with my GD Explains His Jokes segment.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so everybody join us tomorrow. I'm not sure who the guests are. As a matter of fact, I don't think there's a scheduled guest tomorrow, but unless I'm mistaken, Ron will be here. He hasn't been here for a couple of weeks, but it doesn't matter. It's called Coffee with the Dog, not Coffee with Ron. Okay.
Yeah. Goddamn.
So if he doesn't show up, fuck him.
I'll probably be here.
Yeah. But curly haired fuck. Oh, okay. I didn't know. All right. Apparently, Steven still has shit to say. And guess what, Steven? You can say it off the air because we're checking out soon. I'm checking out. And so enjoy. See you tomorrow. Thanks a lot. Thank you, John. I appreciate you. And we're going out with some of my music, Spilt Milk, from my CD. This CD is called Volatile Cocktail. So enjoy.
She lived in a corner house for 50 years she cried. All the men that never were, 'cause all the boys had died. All the fatherless children whose mothers pulled their weight. Knows the pain of all of those who've come to know this fate. You've seen her face, still you don't know why. No one knows the name or the tears that never dry. He sat behind a picket fence, from dusk to dawn she cried. All those men convicted, and yet never tried. All those killed for Jesus, Muhammad, love and hate. He knows the pain of all of those who've come to know this fate. You've seen her face, they don't know why. No one knows the name or the tears that never dried. Senators of labor, just like those she had more for, she'd come to understand. You've seen her face, still you don't know why. No one knows the name or the tears that never dry. No one heard her plea for help or help to plead the case of the lady in the corner house who didn't have a face.
You still here? Go. I got to leave. I got yard work to do. I got to get some weeding done, eat some leftover chicken from last night. So you go. I'm leaving. You leave too. Thank you for watching. Bye now. Bye.